ALS. McMichael was a defensive end on the Bears' Super Bowl 20 championship team. The NFL Draft opens next Thursday night in Cleveland. ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller says there's probably too much attention on the first round.
So many teams have this go for broke mentality that if you don't fill that need in the first round, you haven't filled it. And roster construction in the NFL right now would tell you that is not the truth.
Matt Miller on Bart and Hahn. Steelers corner Justin Lane was arrested this morning on multiple charges after being stopped for speeding in Ohio. The most serious charge is suspicion of felony transportation of a firearm. Lane's next court date will be May 5th. Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal both make weight for tomorrow night's main event of UFC 261 in Jacksonville. Usman will defend his welterweight title. Coverage at 10 Eastern tomorrow night on ESPN+.
The Lakers are back in action on Saturday night, and so is AD. Tune in to hear The Lake Show as they get back into the win column at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ABC. Then react with us on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin Monday morning.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Again, live on the road, 6 days away now to the NFL Draft here in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence has himself an endorsement. How about that? Didn't know it could happen in Jacksonville. Thought that was just a New York kind of thing. I guess not. More to come for Trevor Lawrence. Money won't be a problem for the number one overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence, who will come to Jacksonville in less than a week now. Jags have 9 other picks in the NFL draft. We'll continue to dissect it, talk all about it. We also have an interview today, and I caught up with Trent Baalke this week, so we'll play that in full later on. What is the value of Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville and nationwide? We'll have a guest who will talk about the value of Trevor Lawrence, yes, even here in Jacksonville. And how about the great deed that Jags fans did for charities here in the Jacksonville area? Trevor Lawrence matched it, and we have this relationship already building between the franchise QB and the Jacksonville Jaguars fan base. We are live once again on the road, this time up in Yulee at Tire Outlet grand opening this weekend. Here up in Yulee, good to be here. Come out and say hello if you're up in this area, as Yulee has exploded in recent years. Good to be up here always. And come on out to Tire Outlet right off State Route 200. And we'll be here until 6 o'clock. Brent Martineau here, Austin Lane back at the Action Sports Jax studios, along with Casey one more time on a Friday. No 1 foot in the parking lot for Casey. We already warned him about that yesterday. Got to finish strong, Austin Lane. Casey's had a good week.
Casey's had a fantastic week. Nothing but proud of this dude over here. Hopefully he can finish strong. Starting the show off with a little breaking news here from Kansas City. Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't.
So Kansas City will be trading its first-round pick Thursday night, along with 3 other picks in 2021 and 2022 for Baltimore Ravens Pro Bowl offensive tackle Orlando Brown.
Oh.
So he's heading to Kansas City.
Okay, so, let's dissect this, because this is something Jags fans were interested in. I was, quite frankly, interested in. I think you were interested in.
Sure.
So say it again for me so I can digest it.
Okay, so Kansas City is trading their first-round pick this year. That would be number 31, their third-round pick, their fourth-round pick, and a 2022 fifth-round pick for Orlando Brown, a 2021 second-round pick, that's pick number 58, and a 2022 sixth-round pick. So in my opinion, if all this is right, Kansas City got a hell of a bargain, in my opinion, compared to Baltimore. And keep in mind, this is an AFC opponent. Now, they're not in your division, but still an AFC opponent nonetheless. I felt like Kansas City got the better end of the deal here.
Wait a minute now, Austin Lane. I would have given that up. I could get 2 picks in return. I could give up a few picks, including the first rounder, which is 31. So essentially the Jags could have given up 25. They would have had to give it up another pick and then like a later round pick in next year's draft. They get Orlando Brown and they get 2 other picks in return.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. So they give up their 50. I mean, it's super complicated via the radio here, but they gave up a 2021 second-round pick. Kansas City. I'm sorry. Baltimore gave up their second-round pick. Kansas City gave up their first-round pick and their third-round pick and their fourth-round pick.
Okay. So they gave, so that's quite a few picks. But still, I mean, you're talking about the value of the Jags at 25 versus 31. Would they have had to give up as much? Now, they got to pay Orlando Brown as well. I think you're right. I think Kansas City, who needs some offensive line help, they're trying to redo that offensive line, especially the tackle position. You got an unhappy player in Orlando Brown. I think Kansas City, and I'm not saying Baltimore didn't win this deal too because it might work out better for them. They have an unhappy player. But for Kansas City, they are a winner in this deal by getting Orlando Brown right off the rip. And if we go back to before, you could franchise tag a player, which would have been early March. If the Jags could have pulled off this kind of deal, I would have been very happy, Austin Lane.
As you should have been. I mean, obviously with Kansas City now, it means that they have to sign him to a new deal, and that's fine. But I'm very surprised, especially with, Jim Harbaugh. I'm sorry, is it John Harbaugh running the show there in Baltimore? I'm surprised that they didn't try to get more for him because, in my opinion, the team had all the leverage and power here. Just because they could have easily said, okay, I mean, we get that you want to play left tackle, but that's too bad. You're going to play right tackle, or else you're not going to play at all. So, in my opinion, the Ravens had all the power, but it goes to show you, once again, player gets what he wants. You can only assume that he's going to be playing left tackle in Kansas City, and obviously on a Super Bowl winner, or a Super Bowl contender, let's just say, in the Kansas City Chiefs as well.
Well, and here's one thing about this now. What was the deal potentially before franchise tag season? Okay, so you have to take yourself back to that. This makes a little bit less sense for the Jaguars, although it's not out of the question. But it made a little bit less sense once they franchise tag Cam Robinson, $14 million a year. And again, I'm not saying it eliminates it, just makes a little less sense. Before they franchise tag Cam Robinson, this is a play that we had conversation about. There were rumors that maybe even the Jags were interested. But I would suspect, Austin, given the timing of it all, now 6 days away from the draft, Baltimore felt like they were losing leverage here. And so the deal for Orlando Brown might have cost a team like the Jaguars or any team more about a month and a half ago.
True, but I just feel like if you're Baltimore, and obviously I think you're in win-now mode, right, because you have the talent around you to be successful. If you're in win-now mode, the road to the Super Bowl still goes through Kansas City, and you just gave them desperately what they need. Because it's what they lacked last year. We saw that in the Super Bowl. And now all of a sudden you upgraded them immensely for essentially a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick, and you gave up your second-round pick as well. That's a little crazy to me.
Yeah, so if you want to, I'll do this for you, okay, just to make it easier if you're listening. Take the 2022 fifth and sixth-round pick that gets exchanged. Okay, that's whatever, right? I mean, whatever. I wouldn't say it's a wash, but it's still whatever. Then Baltimore gets a third and a fourth-round pick this year, and Kansas City gets a second-round pick this year. Well, if you're trading to get a second-round pick, it might cost you a third and fourth-round pick. That might be close to a wash. Mm-hmm. And then they essentially give up Orlando Brown for the 31 overall pick, the first-round pick. I mean, the other stuff is kind of washes itself out a little bit or mostly. I don't know how the trade value chart looks, but it reads on paper like that to me. So essentially, it's like 31 overall for Orlando Brown. Well, we asked that on several occasions. Would you give up number 25 and a fourth-round pick, something like that, for Orlando Brown? And I think the answer was absolutely we would do that. Mm-hmm. So just again, I'm not criticizing the Jags here because, again, I think the timing of this, helps in the negotiations for Kansas City to get a little bit what they want and have to not give up as much. Again, 6-7 weeks ago, this deal might have been a lot different. It might have been the reason why they couldn't move him. Baltimore might have just been asking too much for everybody and then figured out they weren't going to get it and they weren't going to sign him, so they might as well get something. The only other option here for Baltimore, it appears, Austin, since they weren't going to extend Orlando Brown, he kind of wanted out, is they could have waited until around Labor Day or the early part of the season, see who gets hurt, and then somebody might be desperate for a tackle, and then Orlando Brown could have been there. That was the only other option probably if they didn't unload him here in the next week.
Yeah, to me, it really begs the question, if Orlando Brown made it blatantly clear that he wasn't going to play for the Baltimore Ravens this year. I wonder if that conversation came up a little bit. I wonder if he pushed the team all in. Maybe they try to call his bluff in the get-go, but then all of a sudden it's like, okay, this guy really might not play. Let's get something for him. Like, I can foresee that happening because, once again, if you look at the style and what the Ravens like to do on offense, they're a smash-mouth physical type team. And, if you have him on one side, and I forgot who their left tackle is, the guy coming off the ACL. Man.
Fisher? Over there.
No, I'm sorry. Not Fisher. I'm talking about for the Ravens here. I'll have to look it up real quick. His name escapes me right now. But I know, he's coming back off a knee injury.
Oh, Stanley.
Thank you very much. Ronnie Stanley. Yeah. Now, keep in mind.
He's been very good.
He's been fantastic. But is he going to be 100% in training camp? Or is there going to be some kind of after effects with that knee injury? So you have a little insurance to keep Orlando Brown, number one. But number two, if you have Ronnie Stanley on one side and Orlando Brown on the other side 100% healthy, that is a pretty great tandem that you want to run the football, that you want to play smash mouth football with. So once again, there might be more to this that we're not seeing where he threatened to sit out. I'm not sure. I'm really surprised that the Ravens didn't get more for him.
Well, I am too. Although I guess that's the timing. Again, if it wasn't going to work, you got to unload him. And so maybe they just weren't willing to wait until the season. See, I think that's the best time to trade sometimes because somebody's going to be desperate for a left tackle, right tackle. Mm-hmm. And when the season starts, and that's the time to maybe make the move and get the most in return, I believe. Although this isn't a bad time of year to do that. Right before the league year starts, that's another one. But teams know that you're trying to get rid of a guy, and therefore they're trying to get him on the cheap a little bit. Not the case all the time in September and even early October before the trade deadline hits, or at least there's a desperate team that wants to dance with you.
But, also remember, though, Brent, he still has a year on his contract.
He does, but you're going to have to pay him big, right? You're going to have to pay him big.
Well, eventually, yeah, but I'm saying you could still get another year out of him, and then, I guess you're going to lose out or whatever if he chooses to go someplace else. You could franchise tag him. You could do a lot of things, but you essentially had him on a lease if you wanted to use him. Now, you know how I feel about it, right? Usually I take the player's side here. I'm happy for Orlando Brown because he gets what he wants. I don't know what that dialogue was like back and forth, where if he threatened to sit out, if he threatened to opt out. I'm not sure if opting out's even a thing this year with COVID. I really have no idea, but I just find it peculiar that the Ravens didn't get more for him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is a good player, like a really good player at a critical spot, and so it's a nice win for the Chiefs, no doubt about it.
The rich get richer.
Yeah, the rich get richer here. Give them credit for pulling it off.
Do you think this has anything to do with the Chiefs thinking one of those tackles might not come to them in the first round at that low pick?
Well, or even guys might be dropping or they don't like them as much as everybody thinks. But, yeah, absolutely. I mean, at 31 is a long time to wait on draft night,
Yep. But it goes to show you, though, Casey, and this is the Chiefs' MO. They pay Travis Kelce. They paid Tyreek Hill. Obviously, they shored up Patrick Mahomes. And now what do they say? All right, Patrick Mahomes, we gave you this big deal. Let's go ahead and get you Orlando Brown now to make you feel a little more safe. This is classic Chiefs. This is let's win right now. We'll figure out the contract down the line. Don't worry about it, but we're going to figure this whole thing out, and let's go win another Super Bowl.
What do you think the Jags were interested in Orlando Brown? There are rumors, reports, all this stuff, whatever. Okay, that's fine. Do you think they ever made a play for him? I mean, wouldn't you have to at least investigate that? Or do you think they like Cam Robinson that much from what they saw? They're a believer in it. They knew they could use the tag, and they didn't have to get involved in this heavy-duty contract and giving away trade capital right now to go get a left tackle.
Well, when you have Joe Cullen and company coming over from Baltimore that have a lot of experience, going against Orlando Brown every single day in practice, they could have told Urban Meyer or Trent Baalke everything about Orlando Brown. So I do believe they had to be interested, especially, with the whole Cam Robinson thing of, are they going to franchise him or not, what the plan's going to be there. I believe in those discussions with Cam Robinson, there had to be at least some sort of interest. They had to at least test the waters a little bit because, once again, with all due respect to Cam Robinson, you got to think that Orlando Brown is a big upgrade at the left tackle position.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, when we were talking about that some 6, 7, even 8 weeks ago, that was an exciting proposition. And I'm a believer in Cam Robinson. I think what they did, franchising him, is a smart move. I think it's a good move for him. I think he has a chance to really hit it big now with a big season. And I still don't fully know how good Cam Robinson is. I don't know how they could know how good he is, but he's got a chance to prove it. I'm okay with the situation in Jacksonville. You know what I've said. I believe in their offensive line better than a lot of people do, and we know they believe in their offensive line even more than I do. So they're okay with their offensive line. But the idea of getting Orlando Brown, a guy that is a perennial Pro Bowl type of player that you know is this kind of player, and to have him on the left side of that line and Trevor Lawrence taking snaps, now that gets you excited. And don't worry about the quarterback position. Don't worry about the left tackle position for the next 5 or 6 years. We don't know that's the case here in Jacksonville with Cam Robinson. We don't know if next year they are going to have to invest heavily in left tackle, guard, or even right tackle with Jawan Taylor. So there's a lot of unknowns going forward that I think an Orlando Brown would have cured. And also, Austin, they had plenty of money. They do have plenty of money to be able to ink Orlando Brown to this mega deal. So I love the idea of it. I understand the circumstances, why it maybe didn't happen. I would hope the Jaguars investigated it and were interested in it because I think it was upgradable and it made a lot of sense at the time. It just didn't come to fruition.
Without a doubt. And now you got Kansas City adding a pretty solid left tackle. And keep in mind, too, Kansas City also signed Kyle Long, right guard, who came back out of retirement from the Chicago Bears this offseason as well. So they've immediately upgraded their offensive line.
Well, this is interesting because folks are responding. I said, do you think the Jaguars were interested in making a deal for Orlando Brown? And Patrick Jackson says, not at that price. Matthew says, probably not for what the Ravens were asking for. Chiefs are in a win-now mentality. Jags have way too many holes on the roster currently. I think I disagree with these guys. I don't think that was that hefty of a price.
No, it
now,
wasn't.
again, you have to – we've said this a few times now, but if you just jump it in, Orlando Brown traded from the Ravens to the Chiefs. It is worth repeating that the price tag here on April 20, whatever the heck they were at, 3rd, versus the price tag on March 6th may have been a totally different deal in terms of the trade value. It might be why we got to this point where Kansas City could jump in the game and get him. But you brought up a good point, too. I mean, this is a move that doesn't avoid the shift of balance, if you will, in the AFC. These are considered to be two really good teams in the AFC that could go head-to-head for a while. And in the immediate, the Baltimore Ravens just made the Kansas City Chiefs a lot better.
Without a doubt. And now let's see who this guy is here. So Jamison Hensley, who seems to be a reporter with the ESPN. He's an ESPN Ravens reporter. He checks out. Don't worry, I'm not getting trolled right now. But he's saying that with Orlando Brown going to the Chiefs, the Ravens are expected to replace him at right tackle with Alejandro Villanueva, who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yep. So I guess there's already a plan in place from the Ravens. So maybe this has been in touch for a long time, and now it's finally coming to fruition.
Well, and Austin, I think this is less about what the Ravens wanted to do with Orlando Brown and more about what Orlando Brown wanted to do in terms of right tackle, left tackle. I want to be a left tackle, pay me like a left tackle, or get me out of here type of situation. That's kind of the way I read it. And there are other places where you can play left tackle.
Oh, no, of course. I mean, if you look at the average of a left tackle in the NFL compared to the right tackle, it's a difference between $5 million. So say no more. We're talking $5 million. I don't blame Orlando Brown for what he did, and props to him. He got what he wanted, going to a great team. More power to him.
I'd like the backstory on this one someday down the road. This one's interesting because as much as people talk about the offensive line and upgrading offensive line, especially when you saw what happened with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati and you have Trevor Lawrence coming in, I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is one I think the Jags let get away. I just don't know the situation enough. But I would hope they were at least interested and thought about it. I'd like the organization to be like that, be aggressive, be that kind of upgradable with the talent, especially with the dollars they had in their back pocket. I would hope they would have been at least interested back in March, back in late February, even right now. Well, even right now does make a little bit less sense because you're giving Cam Robinson $14 million. But nonetheless, I would hope they would have been involved. So that's the news. Orlando Brown. He's been a Pro Bowler at right tackle and left tackle. That's how good this guy is, all right? I know not everybody knows, hey, okay, so how good is Orlando Brown? He's a big dude. Yeah, he's a big dude, but he's a Pro Bowler at both positions. He is really good. He is one of the best linemen in the game. at this point in time.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, because it's super interesting, too, because I remember, this is back when the Jaguars Orlando Brown rumors started to circulate a little bit, and I did a radio show in Baltimore, and they were saying how they're expecting 2 first-round picks for him. And what would I think that Jags will give up, like 2 first-round picks, or at the very worst, a first-round pick and a second-round pick? And I haven't said I don't think that. I think that's a little bit too high of a price. And now we see what's circulated from essentially you gave up a first-round pick for the guy and some change. I don't know. It's weird to me, man. It's just not the Baltimore Ravens MO, but who knows?
I got to be honest with you, man. If you told me back in early March that the Jaguars gave Orlando Brown, gave Baltimore 25th overall pick and number 65,
yeah,
I don't think I would have blinked an eye.
I know.
Now, it doesn't. Now, here in April, they didn't even have to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's kind of the perspective I had on it. So I think this is a great deal for Kansas City. I really do. And maybe Baltimore gets something out of it as well. And they obviously feel like they do. But we'll see how it plays out. All right, we'll take a break. Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 here on a Friday, 6 days away from the NFL Draft. On the road, we're at Tire Outlet in Yulee. Come on out. Say hello. Action Sports Jax on ESPN690. Rolls on after this.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
The start of a warming trend today under mostly sunny skies, still very comfortable humidity with an afternoon high near 75. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Don't miss the buy one, get one free on wedding bands through this Sunday.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Oh, boy, you have that look on your face. That grumbling Greg face. Boss asking you to do work? No, I don't think it's unreasonable to ask somebody to work at work. That's why we switched to Peak Push to Talk. Yeah, Push to Talk is back. Connect instantly to anybody, anywhere in the country. Boop. Get used to the boop. And working at work, too. It's kind of the thing we do.
Boop nationwide. Learn more at booptotalk.com.
Why can't I ever find my people? You can now when you boop. Did you say boop? And you'll beep your crew nationwide with Peak Push to Talk. Booping is back. And better than ever from Peak Push to Talk. A boop and you're instantly talking to your crew.
No more texting. No more it was on silent. No more never returned calls.
Nope, just boop.
Boop. Find your people with a boop at booptotalk.com.
Boop.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? So that I can go back to church.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Is your home not feeling very new anymore? Sick of that pink bathroom tile, popcorn ceilings, a stove older than you are? Whether it's repairs or reno, finance it smart with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, where you can borrow up to 90% of your home's appraised value. You've got good taste, but your block counters ain't cheap. So get to work and open a Honeydew HELOC with 1-to-1 Financial. When you do, we'll send you a free handyman tool set to get started. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
But you start to realize that the reason New Orleans Saints hadn't made a Super Bowl in the last few years is Drew Brees. Drew Brees wasn't the same guy late in season.
Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Brent Martineau.
Then I said, still looking for his 4th career sack.
Austin Lane.
I'm spending pretty much every single day with somebody for pretty much 2 years now that you know somebody. And they surprise you. I sit here before you right now, and I am surprised.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
That's a huge part of it. Now, we have our doctors, and we're actually, I think it's this week, Friday, we're going to meet with our doctors and our trainers, and they've done a deep dive through the combine and through just research and data. So every player that comes up, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm sure everybody's doing this, is they're digging. If there's a red flag at all before that number or before that name goes on the board, we're going to cover every area.
Well, you better, Urban Meyer, cover every area, especially when it comes to the medicals. And Jaguars are doing that, of course. Every team continues to do that. You wonder how many they have crossed off their board. It's always a topic of conversation right around the draft. Character issues, medical issues, they will cross some players off their draft board. No doubt about it. Brent Martineau here at Tire Outlet in Yulee. Glad to be up here. And Yulee's a great place. Right next door is Fernandina Beach, just down SR 200 a little bit. Easy drive. Everybody thinks Yulee's so far away, man. It's an easy drive to Yulee.
Yeah, it's, what is it, about, I would say, probably for you, it's about 40 minutes, 50 minutes?
Yeah, from home, like down in northern St. Johns County, it was like 45.
Sure.
To get up, because this wasn't too far off the off 95.
Yeah.
But from, like, the station, it's even less. It just depends time of day.
Yep.
But this place has got packed now. The road, there's like, how many lanes? If you haven't been to Yulee in 5 years, you'll be like, that's not Yulee.
Oh, I know. It's growing, man. It's blowing up.
I always wonder, as we say this a lot on the air, actually. I think we've had this conversation before, but you wonder, this is like small town Yulee where Derrick Henry came from,
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not small town Yulee still, but it doesn't feel as small when I used to come up and cover Derrick Henry at Yulee High School, and where it did feel small. And I wonder about some of the folks that live here for a long time, how they feel about it. Because a lot of folks don't like when the place gets a little bit bigger,
Sure. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the locals got a problem with that.
Yeah, and I get it. No problem with that. Hey, Trevor Lawrence and Jaguars fans, this is cool. The story keeps getting better. Heck, I mean, Dilla's going to make his way into, like, the pride of the Jaguars if he keeps this up.
As he should, man.
It's just too much credit for Dilla, man.
He's gonna. Oh wow.
How much credit can we give the guy?
The hate is still there. Dilla's the type of guy that would probably get announced to the pride of the Jaguars and break the news that he was going to be inducted to the pride of the Jaguars. So.
I mean, when's the last time Dilla broke something?
I don't know, man. When's the last time you broke something? Have you ever broke something before?
Good call.
Do you have a hat? All right, then.
That's a good call.
All right, then. All right.
Can you stop with the protection and support of Dilla? Seriously.
Dude, I don't protect or support anybody. I'm just telling, I'm calling it like I see it, man. The guy is obviously pretty popular on social media, as he should be, and he's doing great stuff for the community. I ain't protecting anybody, man. I'm just trying to save you the Twitter feedback that's gonna come your way if you keep on talking smack about the guy. I'm trying to help you out, man.
Yeah, well, I still don't have a hat. You have a hat yet?
I don't wear hats, so we're all good though.
I did. That's right. You know.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put the hat around your belt buckle or something?
What generation are we in right now? Put the hat around my belt buckle. Nah, man. I think I'm all set with that. We're all good.
I did suggest, actually. I mean, I get a little. I mean, it's over the top love sometime for Dilla.
Yeah.
But I did think it might be cool. Remember, we were asking who would announce the draft.
Yeah.
Pick. Well, maybe Dilla should.
That'd be cool.
That would be kind of cool.
The whole fan thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe just it's too dangerous for the whole Bold City Brigade to go up there, right?
Well, I mean, we're talking thousands, man. Yeah, I could be a little. I mean, I get it. We're making the next step here out of the pandemic, but in terms of social distancing, might be a little sketchy.
Seriously, though, you saw what happened today. Dilla did tweet out about $54,000+ generated between Jags fans, Trevor Lawrence himself, Billy Horschel, and his matching donation. We've said it. It's been a story in Jacksonville for now 3 weeks or so. It's a really cool story, Austin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if we were talking about this earlier today with some folks. I have no idea if something like this has happened before, but I don't know if it's happened to the degree or the timing of this with the number one pick, with the franchise quarterback, with this specific guy. Because think about all the things that have to go in place. You have to know who that number one guy is going to be.
Of course.
And this franchise has known that for 5 months. Yeah. You have to have the fan base willing to do something like this. And on top of it, you have to have a guy that's got a wedding registry before he gets drafted.
Yeah.
That might be the hardest part.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is a unique circumstance where I can't remember ever in NFL history where the first pick of the draft where where he's going to go, that fan base and him essentially work together and they donated money to charity. I can't say that's ever happened before. Now, there's been circumstances where let's say a certain team beats another team for the playoffs. So, for instance, right, let's say there's a team at home watching, hoping that another team loses so they can go to the playoffs, and the team that beats that team so they can go to the playoffs, they donate to their charities, right, because they're happy that they're going to the playoffs. So that's happened before, if that makes any sense. Probably not, because I kind of rambled a little bit. But, I remember, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, when the Bills fans donated for the totem title because of Josh Allen, and that was over $100,000, which is crazy, by the way. Yeah. Over $100,000 to the Children's Hospital.
But
yeah, in honor of I think it was Josh Allen's grandmother. Obviously, super different circumstances. But yeah, I mean, obviously fan bases have their players back, but this is a unique circumstance because he's not officially a Jacksonville Jaguar yet. This is, I think, in my opinion, going above and beyond welcoming somebody with open arms and saying, "Hey, man, we can't wait till you get here, and let's win some games together." I guess you would say.
You know what's cool about? Here's the cool level of it for me. I'm not surprised in Jaguars fans, and really credit to Bold City Brigade and Bold City Cap and Dylan and all of them for getting everybody going and getting behind this and having some fun with it. But I'm really not surprised with that part. I'm really not surprised Trevor Lawrence and his team did something. The Toaster place did something. Billy Horschel did something. What it appears to me, though, Austin, is I feel like Trevor's having some fun with this. And that's kind of the cool part for me. The willingness to acknowledge last week in a tweet, hey, hopefully I'll be a part of the community soon. Reaching out and retweeting Dilla and that quote today.
But no, let's be honest though, man. A fan base just, essentially raised, I think it was $20-something thousand for a charity of your choice, and you got a free toaster out of it. Yeah, I would hope Trevor Lawrence acknowledged somebody at some point. If he didn't acknowledge somebody, not going to say I would be disappointed, but I would definitely be a little skeptical. Like, hey, man, like we just raised all this money for you. A little thank you would be, sufficient.
Yeah, but he easily could have done that on draft night when he got drafted by him and waited. You know what I mean? Like, you could still thank everybody. He didn't have to thank him last weekend, this week, and kind of play it close to the vest, like just not even kind of correspond, I guess. I'm not saying I'm surprised he's corresponding. I just feel like the nature of his tweets, he seems like he's having fun with this part, and he's not like annoyed by it, or it's not just a thing that his PR team's doing or something. I feel like there's some genuine, like, hey, this is going to be a cool ride, and maybe I'm just reading into it a little bit. But that's what I took out of this last week more so, when there's a bit more of a back and forth with Lawrence jumping in, and then he tweets at Billy Horschel as well. Like, I think that part of it, that part of it's pretty cool, where this is a part of the process where you might be tired of a lot of stuff going on. He's kind of embracing it.
No, without a doubt. And I think that if you want to put the bow on a perfect draft day and a perfect, couple months lead up to the draft day, like it's been here with the toaster and charities, getting some money and everything like that, and Jaguars fandom and Jaguars Twitter, getting put on the pedestal as they should be. If you really want to wrap it up, Trevor Lawrence, and once again, this is a little free advice to Trevor Lawrence's PR team, whoever you want to be. I've seen these emoji hats out there, Now, we don't need to get into what emoji it is, because I had to school you about that about a month ago of what the emoji face meant. But if Trevor Lawrence opted not to put on I think it's the New Era, New Draft hat, which is, whatever. I'm not sponsored by New Era, so it is what it is. If he opted to put that hat on and then take the hat off and then put on the face of satisfaction emoji hat, breaking the internet. Breaking the internet. And you know what? Yeah, a Super Bowl would be good in Jacksonville, but to me, that's just as good as a Super Bowl right there, if Trevor Lawrence did that. He wouldn't have to throw a football, and I'd be like, all right, dude, ring of honor for you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your commitment. I need nothing more from you, man, because the hat said it all.
Now, that would be something. I don't anticipate it. I think probably has a deal with New Era that he has to wear the hat. Not a deal with the emoji, most likely. One more thing on this. Did the Jags just start something, Jaguars fans, where we could see kind of this more often? And listen to it in context. I'm not saying every draft pick's going to be married. I know not every year you know what the number one draft pick is. But it's a copycat world, right? Whatever's cool, whatever works. I wonder even in other sports, like if the success of this, the fun of this, if other fan bases don't try to find a way to do something similar, whatever that is, I don't know. But if Zion Williamson was going to be the number one pick from New Orleans, could they, get him a bunch of sneakers since his blew out at Duke?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I just wonder if it's a trendy world we live in, and this has been a slam dunk success in Jacksonville, what started very grassrootsy. I wonder if we see more of it down the road. Again, you're not anticipating too many number one picks being married or getting married on their way before the draft, but it will be something to watch.
Yeah, I think just what makes this story so great, though, and hard to duplicate is this, the spontaneity of it. Because, nobody intended for this to happen. Dilla literally just said, hey, we should get him a toaster, and then, it went on from there. So, that's, to me, what makes the story so great, because it's random, it's genuine, and it's got a feel-good ending, where, Billy Horschel and then, obviously, Trevor donates money as well. That makes a great story. Now, yes, this can definitely happen again, but it has to have all the right elements. It has to be where, okay, the consensus number one overall pick, we know it's going to be number one. The fan base is excited to have him, because sometimes that doesn't necessarily happen. Sometimes there's, well, who should we take, this guy or this guy? Obviously, Jaguars fans now are all on the same page saying, we got to take Trevor Lawrence, right? And you just sometimes for the number one pick, it is like that. Just like Zion Williamson. He was unequivocally the number one pick. But sometimes there's a case for maybe some other guy who should be the number one pick. So to me, it was the perfect storm of randomness, of a passionate fan base, and obviously a high-profile player that made this thing work.
Near the top of best tweets today. A little credit for you, Austin Lane.
Oh, no, you're all good, man. That was nothing.
I said this to somebody. I said, the timing of your tweets often can be very good. Now, half the time I don't understand them. But that's okay.
Well, that's because half of them are anime. That's all good. There's not anime ones up there. It's all good, though.
But once in a while, man, I mean, we just connect, and that was well done.
Yeah.
The Gatorade endorsement for Trevor Lawrence, no surprise. First quarterback endorsement since 2012 and Cam Newton. Did I hear that right? For our number one pick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Or maybe it was just first number one pick, not quarterback.
No,
but
I think it's quarterback, Brent.
It is?
Yes.
Since 2012 with Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
And, our New York friend said, Jacksonville. Why does he want to go there? It's Hartford with palm trees.
Yeah.
Never make money.
Yeah.
Never going to be an endorser of anything. Somebody else, some goofball the other day said it again. I don't even know who the heck
Call
that
him
guy.
goofball. I love it. I love it.
One of these guys that just tries to get clicks, but I saw it floating around.
Yeah.
And we've said this before. That's not the reality. I mean, it's not. You could be a star from anywhere, first of all, and market doesn't play into it. But your tweet was very good. Read it. The official thirst quencher of Jacksonville. Is that what it was?
Yes. Well, yeah, because the whole thing was some dude from, I forgot I don't even know his name. He's got a lot of followers, so props to him for doing that. But it was some dude that basically said, Trevor Lawrence is going to be, all he can get for endorsements is like the local car dealerships or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
And here we are with Adidas and Gatorade, so it is what it is. I mean, but Brent, we saw this coming from a mile away. Okay,
yeah, we did.
Anytime I turn on a TV and I see Baker Mayfield, and with all due respect, in Cleveland, with all due respect, hasn't been to a Pro Bowl yet, but he's everywhere in terms of endorsements, in terms of notoriety. Say no more. This is the NFL, man. If you're the quarterback number one, you got a personality, or you have the skill set number two, you're going to get endorsements. The end.
Yeah, the end. We'll talk more about the value of Trevor Lawrence coming up at 4 o'clock with a guest. By the way, we're out here at Tire Outlet here in Yulee. Huge raffle prizes, including an ATV and a tire wheel package, $2,500 value, 10% off all auto services. First 100 to stop by, get a free Tire Outlet T-shirt, and even more right here at Tire Outlet in Yulee. Come on out. Say hello. We're here until 6 o'clock. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Not everybody in the NFL is excited about the new number rule. Tom Brady thinks it's not just silly, it's dangerous, especially when trying to recognize blitzes. Brady Coleman, however, is a ESPN radio host, and he thinks Brady needs to stop crying.
But let's be honest, as great as he's been, how many times when things have not gone his way, he has acted like a petulant child. And not for nothing, he's too much of a name to be in that crybaby box. Leave that for quarterbacks who don't even have 199th, what you've been able to do. When you're Tom Brady, you just sound like a sad old man. And because someone didn't change the TV right or didn't give you the remote control so you can have that kind of control.
And Jacksonville plays host to its first full-capacity event tomorrow night. It's UFC 261, featuring 3 title fights, and that event is completely sold out. SportsCenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The Max Kellerman Show.
The Nets started out the season without James Harden, who's their second best player, and then have played recently without Kevin Durant, who's their best player. Also, when Kyrie joined the team, he and Harden had to figure things out. There was an adjustment period. And so the Nets' record does not reflect, their entire record does not reflect the team they've become.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair?
Uh-huh.
We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier.
And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com.
1430-261-1250-697.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer. We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com. Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the South Side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Lunch and brunch and booze and specials and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the South Side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish sass with 5-star class.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 2, beware of strangers. If you've been in an accident and a stranger contacts you to get your case, watch out. They're breaking the law. These crooks knock on your door, send you text messages, and even go into your hospital room uninvited. They work for shady clinics and lawyers who want the insurance proceeds for themselves. Don't hire them, report them. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida.
Hey, it's me, your cousin, from Boston. I'm on the radio doing ads for Sam Adams. Now I'll be known as the Sam Adams guy instead of the dude who fell in the quarry. Sam Adams Boston Lager is crisp and refreshing, which is why I bring a 6-pack wherever I go, except the movies. Anymore. Sam Adams, from Boston with love. Here's the legal part. Watch how fast I can read. The Boston Beer Company, Boston, Mass. Drink responsibly. Now, is that 30 seconds? Are we even close?
Vote for this week's ESPN 690 High School Athlete of the Week, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Each week, an athlete with the most votes will be announced on Action Sports Jax. To vote or nominate your favorite student athlete, go to ESPN690.com or check us out on ESPN 690's Facebook page.
Big plays were absent in our on offense last year, and we have to get better. And a lot of it's speed. There's a lot more than speed involved in that, but obviously speed is a big piece of that.
That is Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer talking about speed and playmakers on offense. I still think it's interesting they dissected the tape and said we just didn't have enough on the explosives, and that would be a big focal point on the offense. I mean, I know it's a focal point for every offense, Pop Warner to the NFL, but yeah. They certainly identified that with those comments in looking back at the tape and looking back at last year. and their offense. So we'll see how they change it. We'll see how much Trevor Lawrence changes the offense and helps those guys get down the field for big plays. Brent Martineau here at Tire Outlet in Yulee. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jax studios. Huge 6 days in Jacksonville. Obviously, the draft on the horizon. We'll have full coverage. We'll be live with our show on ESPN690 at the stadium on Thursday, CBS 47, Fox 30 all day long. On draft day, we'll be up in Cleveland as well with Stuart Weber. And then Saturday, meaning tomorrow night, it's UFC 261. We had Dana White on the show yesterday. If you missed any of that conversation, go to the Action Sports Jax on ESPN690 podcast. Let's get to the phone lines real quick. I think we have South Beach Gary hanging on the line. Let's get to him.
Brent, Austin, 6 more days, fired up. Just can't wait for the draft. A couple things, please. Did you guys see the $135 million state-of-the-art indoor practice facility that Stephen Ross is coughing up down there in South Beach? Meeting rooms, everything. A tennis court for the charity that they're going to do, built on the 20 acres right next to Hard Rock Place. He's putting his money where his mouth is, guys.
I like it, man. Are you guys going to hire a quarterback coach as well?
We got one. Settle down there, Austin. We got a quarterback coach.
South Beach Gary. Hey, that will be interesting to watch. I have not seen a lot of that, but I've heard about it, obviously, in $135 million. Is that kind of the price for the Jags? How quick are they going to move on that? What will it look like relative to maybe the Dolphins or the Vikings or the Ravens? Or there's a lot of these facilities around now. And the Jaguars, I think it's going to end up right there next to the facility, near the fields. And so what does that space give you and allow you to do, Austin? It'll be an interesting thing. Listen, it doesn't impact me at all. Yet I find myself fascinated with the idea of this facility. I think it shows a lot symbolically for the organization.
No, it's cool. It's cool when people, like South Beach guy was saying, when people put their money where their mouth is and they invest in the team. So that's definitely a cool thing. It's cool for the community, obviously, outside of the team. It's a good thing, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. Tennis courts, you say?
We got calls all over the place. Let's go to Steven real quick before we head to break. What's up, man?
Not too much, guys. I wanted to get a O-line question since you were talking Orlando Brown earlier. I was watching the Hunt Chapter 2. I know Austin, most of the mock drafts he hasn't been much of a fan at O-line at high picks, being a luxury pick.
That is correct, Stephen.
But watching one of the scenes, it looks like they are looking at offensive line in the draft. And, I mean, like Brett said, tackle and both guards are on their contract year. Cam Robinson's on the franchise tag. But, if they don't live up to this year, that's 3 starters we'd be down on the offensive line. Now it kind of made sense why they got Manhurst, because when he played against Tampa, I saw the tape on him. He shut down Shaq Barrett, one of the best edge rushers last year, by himself. Dude's jacked. So they probably got him to help out Cam and Jawan Taylor on the edges, because they were getting beat last year, and I believe in our offensive line, but in the run game. They did great on run blocking, but when it came for pass protection, it was kind of iffy at a lot of times. So, should they ultimately look at possibly getting eventual starters if these guys don't live up to it this year?
Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate the call, man. Have a good weekend. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Austin, we have talked a little bit this week about the offensive line. Here, my quick take on there's a lot of places to go with what Stephen said. But here's the thing. I don't think it's readily upgradable from what they have this year now. I think they didn't trade for Orlando Brown, or they're not going to get, I think, in the first round an offensive lineman that they love, or a Penei Sewell or somebody like that. That just ain't happening. So I do think now the eye is on the future of next year and the year after, just in case some of the pieces start to go away for salary cap reasons, play reasons, quality of play reasons, or what else. Now, it's not guaranteed. Cam Robinson could earn himself a deal. Jawan Taylor could earn himself a deal. Linder and A.J. Cann might be here for a while. I'm a little up in the air on how long Norwell will be here. So it might not need to be fixed or reshuffled, but it certainly could happen next year for this offensive line.
Yeah, I just have an issue when you go 1-15 last year, and obviously there's still some holes to fill on this team, and you take a pick that would be a depth pick essentially this year. unless you get a guy like Penei Sewell, which is probably not going to happen unless you trade up for him. So when we talk about offensive line depth, I get it. It's important. You have to win in the trenches, all that stuff. But at the same time, right now, there's other needs that I think should be addressed in the first round.
All right. Hey, I want to take this time to real quick congratulations to the athletic director at the University of North Florida. This just came out this afternoon. I talked to Lee Moon this morning, and we kind of saw this coming. He is going to retire this summer. But what a run it's been. A dozen years here at UNF, and obviously this transition to Division I, the success of the basketball program and a lot of other programs, facilities. As college sports continues to change, he's seen it all. Pretty good run, Austin. How about some 55 years in athletics for Lee Moon?
Amazing.
So they call him Coach. Congratulations to Coach on a heck of a run. As I told him this morning, it's about time you just go play some golf, travel around, spend time with the family, and I think he's done enough.
Yeah, congratulations. That's awesome, man. Job well done.
I do have this goal to be married for over 50 years.
Okay.
Because I figure I got off to a head start since I was married at like 14.
You do have the whole shot right now, as they say in dirt bike racing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 22 years in. It's one of my life goals to be married 50 years plus.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't know if I imagine myself doing anything else for 55 years other than a living.
That's not a bad way to I mean, listen, I can't think ahead like a day, let alone 50 years. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a milestone if 50 years of marriage that not a lot of people can probably say, Brent. You have to do something special for that one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping you'll do something special for me for that one.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not my marriage though, right? So it doesn't really affect me too much. So you better be a good husband and think of something.
Maybe Jaguars Twitter will send me a toaster.
Now we're talking.
Maybe a hat with an emoji on it.
Now we're talking.
4 o'clock hour coming up. What is the value of Trevor Lawrence from an economic standpoint across the country and here in Jacksonville? One of the topics, and why is Tom Brady whining? We'll get to it. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN690. We're live at Tire Outlet up in Yulee.
Oh, boy, you have that look on your face. That grumbling Greg face. Boss asking you to do work? No, I don't think it's unreasonable to ask somebody to work at work. That's why we switched to Peak Push to Talk. Yeah, Push to Talk is back. Connect instantly to anybody, anywhere in the country. Boop. Get used to the boop. And working at work, too. It's kind of the thing we do.
Boop nationwide. Learn more at booptotalk.com.
Why can't I ever find my people? You can now when you boop.
Did you say boop?
And you'll beep your crew nationwide with Peak Push to Talk.
Booping is back.
And better than ever from Peak Push to Talk. A boop and you're instantly talking to your crew.
No more texting. No more it was on silent. No more never returned calls.
Nope, just boop.
Boop. Find your people with a boop at booptotalk.com.
Boop.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Sir, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? Because I would like to hug my grandchildren.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create vax904.com. Visit vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. The Chiefs get offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr. in a trade with the Ravens. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Ravens will get 4 picks, including a first-rounder next week. The Chiefs get 2 picks. ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
I think the reason they made that trade is they weren't going to be able to keep him. This is going to be, the first of many non-Lamar Jackson rookie contract veterans they can't keep. Let's get something for him now before he leaves in free agency.
Mike Tannenbaum on the Max Kellerman Show. Steve McMichael, a defensive lineman on the Super Bowl 20 championship team with the Bears, tells the Chicago Tribune he's been diagnosed with ALS. McMichael is now mostly confined to a wheelchair. He is 63 years old. ESPN's David Newton reports the Carolina Panthers have talked to at least 5 teams about trading down from the 8th overall pick in next week's draft. And Japan declares another state of emergency for Tokyo, hoping to stop a growing COVID-19 outbreak with the start of the Olympics just 3 months away.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, and an app that lets you bank anytime, anywhere, choosing Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Hey, we are live up in Yulee at Tire Outlet on a beautiful day. I actually thought it might be a little bit cooler here. Well, the wind's blowing a bit, but I'm actually sweating, which means it's either nice or hotter than I should be, or I'm fatter than I should be. One of the 3. Probably the latter. But anyway, it is a very nice day.
How are the allergies doing today?
Good, but there's still something stuck there, like left over. Like that. I did this. I don't know if it was last year. Probably wasn't last year because we weren't outside as much, and going all around with the pandemic. But it was like 2 years ago where I had. It's not like. It's just like sometimes the air goes away, and the voice just trails out, and it's like I need to like catch my breath. That sounds more dramatic than it is. It really is.
Well, it sounds super dramatic, by the way. Yes.
But it's just like I just run out of oxygen for a second.
I mean, do you want to get that? Hey, do you want to get that checked out though, or what?
But I don't feel like it's a major issue.
Brent, you run out of breath, you can't talk. Pretty serious.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
Pretty serious diagnosis. Like this has all the characteristics of like a House episode, where all of a sudden you're doing like a live spot, and then all of a sudden you collapse, and then House has to come in like, whoa, he's got allergies, but it's not the allergies. Well, hang on, he played baseball back in the day. Maybe he had a baseball injury, and then you go on from there. I don't want to see you be on a House episode. I want to see you be better, man. So maybe get it checked out, huh?
Thanks. Yeah, I think
at least you don't talk for a living.
Yeah, I know.
I know, right?
But it's even happened like in TV, like in my 2.5-minute sportscast. It's like, okay, come on, let's go. Catch your breath here.
This is a classic House episode if I've ever seen one.
House was one of those shows, by the way, that like I came in, I only saw bits and pieces of that show.
Yeah.
And because I only saw bits and pieces, never really started right when it started, and hardly ever watched an episode through. You'd flip it on, you'd get like hooked in for a couple minutes. I'd be like, what is going on?
Right.
Like I don't understand this show.
Yeah.
Like it's so odd. It's quirky. But I don't. Did people like it? Was it a successful?
Oh, I think people loved it. Yeah, I mean, my friends were all about it. I mean, it was okay. From my perspective, like 9 times out of 10 it's like polio or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that seemed to always be the consensus. Oh, he's got polio or something. No, but House was a good show because it was literally the same thing over and over again. Though somebody has a freak accident, they bring them in, they diagnose it, they misdiagnose it, they diagnose it again. That's not right. And then at the end, it's like they're doing something random. Like they're eating dinner, and it's like, oh, wait a second. I'm eating spinach. Spinach comes from the ground, something, and then all of a sudden it's like, he's got polio. And that's what it is. Like, that's the basic episode of House.
Let's bring in Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs. Do you have any house memorabilia at the store over there, Martin?
Yeah, that was just an enthralling description of that show. I'm going to binge watch House tonight on the edge of my seat.
Do yourself a favor.
And live tweet Austin.
Please do, man. I will live tweet you right back. Let's go ahead and sync our. I guess it's on Netflix, maybe. But let's go ahead and sync something up, and we'll have a house watching experience together. I like that.
I'm in.
Nice.
Martin Buckley, how the heck are you, man? Palm Beach Autographs, things going well?
Doing great, man. Good to hear from you guys. Things are busy. We're plugging away. We got a bunch of signings coming up. It seems like, things might be moving back to, normal here pretty soon. We're talking about potentially doing some live signings in the future, so we're fired up.
Hey, missed you on the golf course this morning. Derek DeStefano at Southampton, 7 under par, by the way, on the par 5s, okay? Shot a 68.
Dude, come on.
Yeah.
It's always fun to watch, though, isn't it, dude?
It is fun to watch. It was wild. He almost quick story here. Derek owns Southampton. We play golf, and Martin knows him real well, plays golf over there. Of course, the home of the Action Sports Jack Stream 18, folks. That'll be on September 20th this fall. But I saw, Austin, quick story, I saw Derek, who's a very good golfer, play this was at Ponte Vedra Inn and Club, and I saw him make an albatross, which on a par 5 is a 2. So
dang.
Drove it and then hit it in the hole.
How far out was it from when he hit it in the hole?
I was about, I don't know exactly, but it wasn't
Wasn't he like
it was
170?
It sounds about right. It was like somewhere between 180 and 200 or so, 170 and 200. Dang. Well, today on the 9th hole at Southampton, almost did it again. Missed by an inch. Do you believe, I would have seen the same guy get an albatross twice. It's not like I golf with him 4 times a week, I mean, but he is a really good player. Ends up shooting 68. I did not.
I saw him jarred out on 7 3 years ago. He made a hole in one. I played the part of Yogi Berra, and he was Don Larson.
Very good. I like it. Hey, the value of Trevor Lawrence. He just signed a Gatorade deal. You've been on our show before and told us about a hefty and maybe record deal with Memorabilia, and I think he did that with Fanatics, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct.
Give us a sense as we near closer to the draft. We know this is happening. Has his value gone up? Is it still the same as we've discussed over the last 6 months? Where is it here in Jacksonville and across the country?
That's the really cool thing about this. I think that's exciting for all of us is it's really cool to see a national guy in Jacksonville, isn't it? I mean, it's been a long time since we've had, there was a little, Ramsey had a couple of deals, but not like we're going to see here. The quarterback position is totally, totally different. This is going to be along the lines of what we've seen, most notably, I'd say, when Andrew Luck, a guy like Andrew Luck comes out. And he's going to get the top dollar from everything. I mean, the fact that Gatorade signed him tells us everything we need to know. I'm sure that's going to be an extremely lucrative deal. He ended up landing with Fanatics. It was a highly contested deal, but he's got his first signing coming up with them. I think they're obviously waiting for the draft just for everything to be final. But it's going to be exciting for everybody to kind of see a Jacksonville Jaguar player on the national stage with all these advertising opportunities that he's going to have.
Martin, you're obviously in the business of backing players that have that commercial appeal. And Trevor Lawrence coming to Jacksonville, that is going to be there for Jacksonville. It's going to be there from the East Coast and Clemson fans and all of that. Obviously, the goal is to get that national appeal, almost like a Patrick Mahomes, where everybody wants, some kind of Trevor Lawrence memorabilia. I know we're still a long ways away from the start of the regular season, but like, what would be more beneficial to you in terms of, I guess, selling the merchandise? If he has like an Andrew Luck year where the stats aren't that good, but he goes 11-5, or if he has like a Justin Herbert year where the stats are, unworldly, but he doesn't have a lot of wins. I guess, what's more important in terms of being that household name and selling that merchandise?
That's a great question. I mean, I've told you kind of this before. I love investing in the college legends because I've always used the phrase that those guys don't get traded, right?
Yeah.
If you're successful in college, you're always going to be successful. So it's always going to be popular. It's always going to, people are going to, even without the Heisman, he's a legend at the college ranks. Peyton didn't get a Heisman, but his Tennessee product always sells well. In terms of the national level for him, he's the number one draft pick. There's people that are gonna he's gonna be the first overall. So it is gonna open up everybody nationwide that collects memorabilia, collects baseball cards. Anyone in the industry is going to want that top player, especially at the quarterback position. If it's an offensive lineman, or defensive lineman, no disrespect to those guys. They're big and strong. I don't want them to beat me up. But, you guys know, quarterback, kind of leads the pack with all that. So if he goes out, wins 8, 9, 10 games, has a good, solid year, his stuff's going to sell crazy. Fanatics is going to do very, very, very well selling his stuff nationally. And he'll do terrific at all the shows that they bring him to as well.
Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs with us here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We're talking the value of Trevor Lawrence here in Jacksonville and beyond. Just to piggyback a little bit on what Austin said, and do you think, well, I'll say this. Someday, in this day and age, it's okay sometimes to be a fantasy football star, more so than win MVPs. That might be more lucrative to be a fantasy football star. At least it feels that way. But what do you think wins the day on Trevor and his appeal? Is it the quality of football play? Is it the hair and the look? or is it the personality? Because I think different guys, right? I think, listen, Tom Brady's stuff going to sell because he's an unbelievable football player. He's the greatest of all time. Patrick Mahomes, probably because he's such a good football player right now. I think of Baker Mayfield, it was personality-driven. Not because he was this unbelievable personality, but he was kind of a polarizing personality. And then I'm sure there's some players that go on appeal by look or because of the hair, or maybe it's a Troy Polamalu, right, because of the hair, even though he's a very good football player too. What do you think? Is it football? Is it appeal of like aesthetics, or is it the personality that will kind of boost Trevor to the next level of endorsement money and everything else?
That's an awesome question. I mean, you bring up a really good point. Like Polamalu is a great example, or Michael Strahan, right? Even with the space in his teeth, there's just this like markability with certain guys, right? Where their charisma, their appeal, the hair coming out of the back for Trevor. Obviously, he's a good-looking dude. The ladies are going to love him. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Trevor Lawrence jerseys rocked by the females at the Jags games for sure. And then you bring up another excellent point. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people, say, I want, I'm looking for something Odell Beckham because he killed it in my fantasy league, and I want him for my collection because of his play in fantasy, to your point there. But at the end of the day, I think, a guy like Pat Mahomes, obviously, right? He's got all those things, all those attributes that you pointed out. But at the end of the day, it's really his play that's the driving force. Gardner had a lot of interest, when he came on the scene with his charisma, the way he kind of carried himself, the markability, and then it sort of teetered because the play kind of changed. So I think at the end of the day, I think it's really going to come down to his play. But initially, right out of the gate, people are going to like all of those things that you said. That's kind of the interesting thing about him, is he kind of checks all those boxes, don't you think?
Without a doubt.
I think he does, no doubt. Now, you said something else that's interesting. His college jersey at Clemson, he wore 16. He wears 16, I would think, here in the NFL with the Jaguars. Let's assume that he does. Is there any carryover of the numbers, and does that help? And what I'm eventually getting at is this number change in the NFL. Will it help for quarterbacks and other players to have the number they had in college transition to the NFL so that's part of their brand, even though it might be a different uniform?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think there's certain players that are, that is part of their brand. That's part of their identity. We experienced that with Timmy. Right? He leaves Florida, number 15. He goes to Denver as 15, goes to the Jets as, 5 there, right?
5 or Philly. Was that Philly or Jets?
Or no, 15. Yeah, 15. Or maybe he was 15 with the Jets, and then, no, he was 11. He was 11 with the Eagles. Okay. And so, when that starts to happen, things start to, it's like, I'd rather just have the 15 jersey. I don't really want the 11 jersey, or I don't want the 5 jersey. And then the other thing that starts to happen is a lot of times when he'd be signing, we didn't get a ton of Eagles stuff signed because he was just in camp there. But sometimes his hand would get going and he would just make a 15 on the Eagles. We're like, 11. So we would have to make the first number 1 a number symbol, and then he'd fix it from there.
Martin, go ahead. Sorry, Brent.
No, you got it.
Martin, so when we talk about, jerseys, obviously the Clemson jersey will still be popular for Trevor Lawrence. Now, looking ahead, if you were to get a bunch of Trevor Lawrence autographed jerseys and then sell them, teal is going to be primary. We've heard all that stuff. Like, is there a certain way you go about things? Do you have a certain amount of away jerseys that get signed, a certain amount of home jerseys, maybe go with the black jerseys? Like, is there a certain kind of setup that you have to be aesthetically pleasing to people where it's like they're definitely going to want that color in their home?
Yep. That's a really good question. We actually do. Usually with the Jags, depending on the era, if a guy didn't wear a black jersey a lot, then we won't make that one. But if they lived in the era where there's the 3, they wore a black, a teal, a white, generally speaking, we go heavy on the black jersey, heavy on the teal jersey, and then we carry some of the white for the collectors that's what they might have on all the other players.
Sure.
So we'll have some of it. But usually the black jerseys and then obviously the teal jerseys, everyone's fired up to see those back. Those are the 2 primary ones that always kind of sell the best.
Nice.
Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall, palmbeachautographs.com as well. Go check it out. Last one for you real quick. I don't even know if you know the answer to this because I've had people ask me, do you know where you can get Trevor Lawrence jerseys? Where are they? Have they been made? And the answer is they're not out there until he gets drafted by the Jaguars. At least that's the answer I've been told and found. Do you know how quickly jerseys are out there? Are they like the next day? Will everybody be able to go buy a jersey? Or is there going to be some time between the draft and whenever those things are produced?
So I'm sure Fanatics will that. I guarantee they have all those graphics done, loaded, ready to go for, the top draft picks. Normally on the retail side of things, Fanatics will get that stuff out quick, so they'll have pre-orders for, example, Trevor, they'll be available as soon as that happens, you'll see, T-shirts and jerseys with, Lawrence 16 on the back, available. And then I would imagine they would probably be, shipping those, that same week. I don't think it will take very long before we start seeing those in production. It might take a little bit longer for them to get to retail, just to distribute everything and everything like that. Because in case there's a number change or anything like that, they don't want to, overproduce and then a guy switches numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of like every year they make the Yankees win the World Series shirts, and they just got to throw those away because it just hasn't happened. Yeah, just a little bit like
shots fired. Jinx, man. Yeah, shots fired.
Martin Buckley, Palm Beach Autographs. One last question. This is very selfish of me, but Ty's now up to 110 pounds after a doctor's visit today. How much do you think his value went up?
Well, I mean, obviously we're watching the highlight reels that you're posting on Twitter and Facebook. I'm seeing a lot of, warning track power right now. And I agree with you, man. I think he's going to start parking some balls here. I don't even think 2 years, man. I think next year, man, that kid, I'll tell you what, I'm serious. Austin, you watch.
Okay.
That kid has the sweetest swing, doesn't he?
I've seen it, man. I've seen the videos. I've seen the highlights. Very impressed. Almost call him I don't want to call him like Ken Griffey Jr. status quite yet, but maybe a little Christian Yelich mixed in there a little bit. You know what I'm saying, Brent?
Yeah, listen.
And he's not afraid to flash the leather either, too, man. The kid's got a glove, dude.
All right, enough tie talk. The best athlete in the family is Kaylee, so I'm going to have to double down on this if we keep going.
Make them both happy.
Yep. Hey, how's the little dude, and is he close to 110 pounds already, even though he's like just months old?
He's doing great, man. He's dude. He's putting on weight like crazy. He doesn't skip many meals. We went to the beach today, and I just finished cleaning sand out of everywhere on his body, so that was fun.
We'll love being a dad. Happy birthday to the wife as well.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. 25 years old. I can't believe it.
Well done. Martin Buckley, have a good weekend, man. Great to catch up with you. Thanks for all the info on Trevor Lawrence and his value. Good stuff.
Absolutely, guys. You guys have a good one.
You bet.
You too.
That is Martin Buckley from Palm Beach Autographs. He's a fun guy. He's America's guest. That's what I call him.
Yeah, man, I love
everybody around here knows Martin.
I love it.
He's an awesome dude. So check out PalmBeachAutographs.com. Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall. Hey, did you think anything of the Brady and the numbers? Was he just being a crybaby? Did that have some real substance to it?
No, I just think he was looking for a little attention. Because he doesn't get enough of it right, I guess, after you win a Super Bowl. No, yeah. I don't put too much stake into the whole Tom Brady numbers thing. I think he's okay.
It made me think, though. I hadn't really thought much about it. You know how they always are calling out the Mike linebacker and stuff? And
yeah.
I don't really buy into it. I think it will be easily identifiable, but we do kind of associate certain body types and numbers with positions.
Yeah.
This will mix that up a little
sure.
bit. Maybe more for play-by-play guys than it will for Tom.
No, but we see this in college all the time. Man, you know what you do? You game plan, and you study film, and there's scouting reports, and you know the numbers. So it's not that big of a deal, Tom.
Yeah.
I think he's just – because he even put it right here and said, I would like to speak to a manager, please. I think he's just kidding. That was his last tweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you do it 2 days in a row is the question.
What's that?
Some believe yesterday was your best shock your mock.
Yeah, it's crazy. I put the least amount of homework and studying into it, too, which is wild.
Sometimes you just got to go off the cuff, man.
You do.
What are you bringing today? Shock your mock next. We're live from Tire Outlet up here in Yulee. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny today. Gorgeous Friday with highs in the mid-70s, dropping to near 60 degrees tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss the buy one, get one free on wedding bands through this Sunday.
Boss! Crooks R Us just put out a special bulletin about Safe Touch security.
Special bulletin about Safe Touch? Oh, this is gonna fire up my ulcer, I know it.
Boss, the headline says, Safe Touch Security has announced their new advanced video surveillance system.
Oh, here it comes.
Oof, this is huge. It's a multi-camera interior and exterior professional surveillance system with 24/7 video storage.
Great. Just what we need is Safe Touch up in their game again.
Boss, this is next level. I think Fort Knox would be jealous of this thing.
Deep breaths. They can keep their fancy camera system. It doesn't change the Crooks R Us golden rule one bit. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Nope, doesn't change it, but it sure underlines it.
Just get me a glass of milk, will you?
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half? That feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you could pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope. And you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
It's Good Morning at Moe's in St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1. It's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. Made to order food in the drive-thru. Hot, fresh breakfast on the go. Make it a better morning with Moe's Southwest Grill. Start your days with the home wrecker breakfast burrito. St. Augustine location only. Served daily at 6 a.m. Moe's is ready to serve you breakfast. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Find just what you're looking for at Arlington.
The hay can't be in the barn.
New Toyota's available. Arlington has the model you want, with the features you want, at the price you want. And with every new Toyota purchase, you get Arlington's worry-free 30-day exchange policy and a lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited time and unlimited miles. Shop ArlingtonToyota.com or in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
I'm getting the vaccine so that I can travel and be safe.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create vax904.com. Visit vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is your most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that's 13 times thicker than box store paint. It reflects 97% of harmful UV rays, has a Class A fire rating, is salt air corrosive resistant, contains the highest quality ceramics, and of course it comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a non-prorated 100% transferable warranty that guarantees against chipping, cracking, and peeling. So call 904-519-5055 or visit rhinoshieldjacks.com and protect your house and your budget.
so you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
It's a way to support local businesses and to support local golf courses. And you get free stuff and discounted golf. It's the Dream 18 card. Available now at actionsportsjacksdream18.com. Discounted golf at some of the best courses in the area, like Southampton, Osprey Cove, and Eagle Landing. And you heard free. How about a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free shirt from Baker Sports, and a free hat from Dome Hats, plus other local business discounts. Support local while saving hundreds of dollars of golf for yourself. It's the Dream 18 card. Available now only at actionsportsjacksdream18.com.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
How many push-ups did you do in 3 minutes? Did you try the challenge?
Austin Lane.
I don't need lactic acid build up when I'm in fight camp. Brent, you kidding me? Take my word for it. More than you.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau here at Tire Outlet in Yulee on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Ready for the weekend. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jacks studios. Casey killing it on another day. He's got 90 minutes to go to bring it home. Finish strong. Austin Lane, you going to take us through some of these bouts and some predictions a little bit later?
I can take you through if you want to go.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, you're like the expert. We got to utilize the expert. You think other guys in town know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to UFC?
Hey, I didn't say that, but I like my odds of being the official Jacksonville MMA expert here of sports radio. Yeah, I like my odds a lot.
I say too. So
let's say minus 1,000, Brent, as a favorite.
Minus 1,000, that's right. So let's utilize that.
Let's utilize that a lot. Let's do it.
We utilize this as well.
Yes.
Shock your mock time.
Let's get
here
it.
on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Case, we ready, man? Let's get into it. Let's go. It's Friday.
He is none other than the Shock Master!
Gonna shock yo, Mark! We're gonna shock yo, Mark!
Brutality, don't you think?
Shocking. Gonna shock yo, Mark! We're gonna shock yo, Mark!
Shocking upset.
I feel shocked. Shock yo, Mark! We're gonna shock yo, Mark!
I am shocked. I am shocked. That's what I mean. I am.
Get any negative feedback last night or today for not giving out another shirt?
No,
yesterday.
Didn't get any negative feedback. Just got a call from my doctor saying, watch out for your heart, please, because we're concerned.
Well, listen, to be quite honest with you,
yes,
I might need to grab the name of your doctor after, and also, I'd rather get a call from the doctor than the FCC, quite frankly.
That's a good
and after
point.
yesterday's segment, I'd rather have one from the doc.
Hey, I don't know, man. I'm not sure who's going to charge more, the doctor or the FCC. So
I know.
It could be. Oh, do you know?
Oh yeah.
It could be a horse apiece. Could be a horse apiece.
Listen, the doc has he can't. He's not even close to the FCC.
Okay, I got you.
And we know how expensive doctors are.
Real quick, have you ever been in trouble by the FCC before? Like you personally?
No, I don't think of anything. Knock on wood here. That directly one that I know of.
Yeah.
Or two big enough that I would have known of.
Okay.
You know, so that's and believe me, if I was the reason why on TV or radio that we cost the station $50,000 or something.
Dang.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a variety of ways.
Sure.
I think they would tell me.
I would hope so. And I don't know, maybe hold you accountable?
Well, I mean, somebody would want to vent some frustration, I would assume.
No, without a doubt.
So I would have been asked about it. But, no.
Okay, gotcha.
I think it's I've always had this view, and I don't know how common it is, and there are so many rules and sometimes you don't even really know about. I mean, you try to educate yourself about everything, but those also change.
Yeah.
I've always kind of – this is where you have to watch out for the FCC. It's probably if you're doing that morning show at times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've always had the view that the morning stuff, and some of the wild and crazy things that can be done.
Oh,
you can kind of push the edge a little bit. In a sports show, we're probably not doing that very often. Not to say it hasn't happened, but we're probably not doing that as much.
Yeah, just call me the guy that plays the song Where the Streets Have No Name on guitar, a.k.a. The Edge, because I am pushing the edge already in the first week of the morning show. Like, we've gone to some places where I'm just kind of like, I thought I'd get a phone call here, so I've got a phone call. Maybe nobody's listening in the higher-ups, but I'm just saying we've pushed the boundaries a little bit.
Oh, be careful now.
That's whatever, man. Hey, it's fine. What are you going to do?
All right, Jacques.
As long as I still have this show to fall back on, we'll be all good.
It's a fallback. I love it. Look at where we've become. We've become the fallback
ESPN 690 fallback. Yep,
Yeah.
ESPN 690 fallback.
Lose your job, want to work, come work for us. Sounds like a great tagline.
Well, we're an equal opportunity employers. Somebody call up ZipRecruiter right now. Okay, let's get into it, though, man. So we got Shock Your Mock today. And by the way, we have a new special sponsor on the show, Brent. Sponsored by locally grown Gatorade, all right? Go to the Riverside Arts Market. Go ahead and grab a locally owned Gatorade. Take a sip, man. It's Jacksonville's latest. Hopefully it's sweeping the nation pretty soon. Grab a Gatorade today. Sponsored by Trevor Lawrence now as well. I probably just broke the rules there by saying Gatorade, but it is what it is. Okay, So, Brent, we got Clint, a.k.a. at Glenn from Florida. Now, before we get into the draft, I need to address the profile picture and the bio.
I've been waiting for this. Since you emailed me this, I've been waiting.
As you should. Now, he reached out to me, okay? Now, he doesn't follow me on Twitter. So what I'm about to say about him, I'm not going to feel bad about because he doesn't follow me. That's your mistake, sir. But this dude looks like Jesse Ventura's distant cousin, let's just say, okay? Bald, rocking Oakleys, kind of has a scowl on his face a little bit. If you go to his bio, his Twitter bio, from Evansville, go Knowles, go Buffs, Duval, Springsteen, Skinnerd, former commercial bank analyst, Trevor Town, let's go Mets. There's a lot to digest there. For those of you that are listening and not watching our screen right now who can't see what this guy looks like, imagine that guy at the bar that would be overly pissed off if somebody played Miley Cyrus on Touch Tunes. That's this guy right now. He would give you a scowl like, not my local bar. That's who we're dealing with right now. Now, keep in mind, doesn't follow me on Twitter, so I really don't care what to say about him because, hey, that's your fault for not following me, sir. So let's get into it.
He does listen to the show.
Well, hey. So, my mom listens to the show. She doesn't follow me on Twitter. Actually, she might. I don't know. I think she has a burner account, but that's another story.
Smart move, Mom.
Well, and she knows how I feel about it. If I find out she has a Twitter account, she's going in a home immediately. But we'll get to that later. That's another story. All right, so pick number 1. Trevor Lawrence, okay, get this guy a T-shirt. If you have another pair of Oakleys for him, get another pair of Oakleys as well. I'm sure he's got 10 pair. But, yeah, get him a T-shirt. Trevor Lawrence, number 1. Congratulations on the Gatorade endorsement, Trevor. Congratulations on the Adidas endorsement, Trevor. And congratulations on that brand-new toaster by Jaguars Twitter. This is where it gets interesting, though, Brent. We started off great. You know, we start off with the Aaron Hicks leadoff player of the year, and now we go maybe just a smidge downhill. Travis Etienne, pick number 25. Now I get it, right? Teammates, right? Good story, endorsements possibly, jersey sales, all this stuff. But are we in the market for a storyline, or are we in the market to win some football games?
Because both.
Okay, you are. But this is me being Trent Baalke, or maybe if it's Urban Meyer, I don't know who's running the show, or maybe Urban Meyer in terms of the draft. This is me being Urban Meyer right now. And I see Travis Etienne, yes, dynamic running back, yes, a nice thunder and lightning combination, but I see other needs on this team, Brent, okay? And I see a guy in James Robinson, which I cannot stress this enough. rushed for 1,000 yards last year. Should have been, at least considered for a Pro Bowl vote because Josh Jacobs, with all due respect to him, no thank you. There's a lot of things to like about what the Jaguars have, I think, right now as your starting running back. And if you draft Travis Etienne at number 25, he has to at least get the lion's share of the reps to justify that pick in terms of value. And I think you're going to do James Robinson a disservice if you do that. So I'm not the biggest fan of the pick. At 33, why not? But 25, a little bit too rich for my blood. Pick number 33, Taven Jenkins. Now, what was the kid from Georgia that's the kicker that went to Indianapolis?
Blankenship.
Yeah,
Blankenship,
Casey.
yes,
I mean, just the contributions to shock your mock right now. This is your last day to shine, and you're coming through, man. I'm proud of you. So this guy looks like a blown-up version of Rodrigo Blankenship. Just check the draft profile. Nice, thick Coke bottle glasses, if you will. But apparently, this guy plays with a mean streak and a tenacity. You wouldn't guess it by the picture. And I get it. Sometimes pictures just pictures. But I'm just saying, from the picture, looks like that guy that you want to watch your kids. You know what I'm saying? Just looks like a nice, wholesome, neighborhood-friendly dude. But apparently, according to NFL scouts, this guy's the real deal in the trenches, plays with a chip on his shoulder, a real nasty guy, if you will. But what's nasty about it, Brent? And how many times do I got to break this stuff down? You said this guy listens to the show, but does he really? Because you know how I feel about offensive tackle at pick 25 or pick 33. Luxury picks right now on a team that won one game last year. Tevin Jenkins, luxury. And he's probably going first round regardless of that. So don't even worry about the grade here by ProFootballFocus.com because they're on their own little thing. Apparently, AWS must have left them a long time ago because these grades lately have been off the charts. But Tevin Jenkins, luxury. Not addressing the safety spot, not addressing interior defensive line, and where's the tight end, by the way? I want to do a Pat Frymuth fun fact. I got a hot, fresh one for everybody today, and we can't even do that right now. But let's keep on going because I'm sure we're going to hit some buttons pretty soon, one would hope, because you know what? Hit 0 buttons so far. If we want to hit a draft needler and Trevor Lawrence, so be it. But come on, that's pretty obvious. Pick number 45, Elijah Molden. Safety, Washington. Draft comparisons saying this guy could be the next Honey Badger. Tyrann Mathieu, if you will. No.
That's better than the no-name guy I heard from yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Once again, this guy plays with a lot of instincts. I like what he brings to the table. I think at this spot, it's definitely a draft need alert, first of all, Casey. So let's go ahead and push that button. I mean, it's like he read my mind. I didn't even say it, and the button's already getting pushed.
He got offended by my comment yesterday.
I know, dude. And I'm trying to tell him, don't worry about what Brent's got to say. All right, this is my show, and you're doing a great job. And you see, a little positive reinforcement, and the guy's never been hotter.
You're a player's coach.
So call me Pete Carroll, baby. So we got Elijah Molden, safety 45. I like that. That's a fair spot for him. He could come in and probably challenge right away for a starting spot. But if not, at least compete. And that's what we want right now, Brent. Like Taven Jenkins, could he come in and compete? Yeah, probably. But once again, are we that worried about offensive line right now? Not this year, maybe next year or so, but let's live in the moment. Let's live in the present. Pick number 65, Rashad Weaver. Hit any button that's... Hit that boo button. We haven't had the boo button yet. Hit the boo button right now. You remember that boo button we're talking about? You see what happens? You see what happens when Casey comes to the pregame meetings and he takes notes? Oh, keep it rolling. These people are upset. Those people are upset. Hey, that sounds like 20,000 49er fans taking Mac Jones. I'm just kidding. Maybe Mac Jones goes to San Francisco. Jacksonville product. We love him very much around here. But we're more Trevor Lawrence fans. Okay, so Rashad Weaver. Did a little homework on Rashad Weaver. Went to NFL.com. Here's what they got to say about Rashad Weaver. By the way, and this is according to 3 draft websites here, draft projection round 5. Okay? Last time I checked, we're in round 3 right now? I'm pretty bad at math, but we were round 2. Yeah, round 3. The first pick of the 3rd round. Oh, my math's coming through. Shout out to Miss Newbie, who was my geometry teacher. Really pulled me through. That really gave me that passing grade when I needed it the most. And I'd have to sit any football and basketball games because of her. Thank you, Miss
I love
Newbie.
how you just shouted out the geometry teacher. Would she give you some angle advice to get to 65 being the 3rd round pick?
That's the only teacher I remember her name, man. I don't remember any of my other algebra teachers, so it is what it is. With that being said, Rashad Weaver. Analysts say, and I quote, plays almost straight up and down at the point of attack, pad level, narrowing base, lead to imbalances, slow twitch for a 4-3 defensive end. And he lacks the desired coordination. Sounds like me in my freshman year of high school right now. That's who you're getting, essentially, in the third round. Another scout said, inconsistent bracing against strong angle blocks, unable to pose a serious threat to the edge with get-off. Lethargic, upright inside, counter quickness, below average reactive athleticism as a tackler in space. This is essentially me, my freshman year of high school. I can't state this enough.
Lethargic is not a good descriptive word for an athlete.
So 6'4", 259. I understand. These are just two scouts' opinions. But everything I read about this guy screams 4-3 defensive end. When we talk about a 3-4 outside linebacker, you got to have some athleticism. You got to be able to drop back into coverage, to play that, maybe they play the angle, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you got to cover running back. With what I'm reading about this guy, he might have some problems doing that. And if we're having those issues right now and we're questioning that, then why are we taking him with the first pick of the third round? Okay, maybe he had that Leonard Skinner on a little too loud and we lost focus on the task at hand, but I cannot come with you at Rashad Weaver at pick number 65. All right, now pick 106, Jalen Darden. For the first time, I actually agree with Pro Football Focus here as a C+. I probably would have gave it a C-. Once again, to me, this is a little bit of a reach, okay? Smaller school guy, and I say smaller school a little bit, the Mean Green of North Texas. But overall, yeah, this guy's a speed type dude. I understand that. Played against lesser competition. But we're talking about a guy at 106, Brent. And this is a risk right here. We're risking in spots we shouldn't be risking at. We're taking offensive tackles at 33. We're taking Austin Lane back from high school at pick number 65. We are all over the place right now. The wheels have fallen off. And by the way, have we addressed the most important thing yet, the tight end? No, we have not, sir. No, we have not. But let's move on. Pick 130, Tommy Tremble, tight end, Notre Dame. Well, I'll tell you what, Brent, don't have any Tommy Tremble fun facts because he's not even on my radar. Okay? Now, yeah, I get it. He had an okay season last year. Guys really like him. He had a good pro, yada, all this stuff. But guess what? Where he sits right now, he's not Pat Fryermuth, and probably not even Brevin Jordan. So what are we really talking about? What are we really talking about when we have the biggest draft need for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you're going to address it at pick 130? We should stop this mock draft right now because that should tell you all you need to know about this guy and his Oakley shades. But we continue, we move forward, and we keep grilling him. And by the way, shout out to Pro Football Focus, A- for Tommy Tremble, whatever. Brady Christensen, tackle BYU, pick 145. Okay, let's just load up the trenches. I haven't seen interior defensive line get addressed yet. And keep in mind, this draft came out a couple of days ago, so the Tyson Alualu factor is not in effect because he knows that Tyson wasn't coming here. So where's the interior defensive line? Don't see it. Jonathan Cooper, Edge, Ohio State. Okay, Urban Meyer connection. Where's the interior defensive line? Don't see it. Jamar Jefferson, halfback. Oregon State. I guess that's HB, halfback? Just put RB. Yeah, okay. Just put RB, but whatever. Jamar Jefferson, I actually like him a lot. Pick 249. But you know what? Jamar Jefferson isn't 300 pounds and can take on a double team because we haven't addressed any of those guys in this mock draft. So I remember when I said yesterday it was the worst mock draft of all time and that guy doesn't get a T-shirt. Give this guy a T-shirt because his heart was in the right place, I think, but too much Leonard Skinnerd. You fried your brain, sir. You can't take 2 tackles and no interior defensive line. There's people in my comments right now on Twitter saying, I actually like this mock draft. That's got to be a burner account. I see you, Zach Z Funkhauser 93. No, it is not a good mock draft. Check yourself a little bit. No T-shirt for you as well. And Brent, that is what it is. I've said my piece. Let's go into the weekend. Changed, new, and by the way, people, next week, our last week of Shock Your Mock, and hopefully Brent Martineau can throw his mock in there as well.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. By the way, can't believe not one Sweet Home Alabama player in there.
That's a good point, too. You're not lying. Just be honest. Do you know this guy right here? You probably know this guy, don't you?
No.
Okay.
Do not.
But he listens to the show. And by the way, Sorry for making fun of your music preferences and that you look like Jesse Ventura, but we really appreciate you listening to the show. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, Glenn in Florida, your mock just got shocked, although some people think it is stunning and not shocking.
Yeah, people are actually liking this one for some reason. I don't know, man.
I was thinking of this going through as you're talking about some of these picks. I wonder if we could take all the mock drafts. We'd have to go back and look at them and say, okay, if you the best of the mocks, meaning if it turned out like this, then you'd be satisfied.
Oh, so you're asking me, like, what am I looking for in a good mock draft?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, instead of – we can find a problem with everybody's mock draft.
That's the point.
Yes. But if it turned out like what mock draft, you'd be like, you know what, that really isn't that bad.
Okay.
Or, you know, because the Jags draft in general, if you shock it on Sunday, you might not like every pick either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So you're asking me, what would it take for me to be, hey, it's not a bad mock draft? Is that what you're saying?
Well, don't worry. You don't have to tell me that because when I issue my mock draft, you'll know what a good draft is.
Real quick, when you issue your mock draft, is it going to be in person, with you sitting next to me, or are you going to be on the road?
Probably me next to you.
Okay. That changes things a little bit.
I could be on the road. I'm on the road Monday.
I'd prefer that.
Tuesday.
I'd prefer that.
So you'd like me to get it in Monday or Tuesday?
No, it's all good, man. I'm just kidding with you. It's just, to me, it's more awkward to grill somebody when they're sitting right next to you as opposed to you being like 50 or 60 miles away.
I don't know why anything like that would be awkward for anybody who's 6'6", 245. That's not awkward.
It is to me, man, because, I'm a people person. It's all in good fun. I don't really mean the thing. Sometimes I mean what I say. Like, that guy's like getting a T-shirt yesterday. I can't state that enough. Like, that's the truth.
Yeah, that felt from the heart.
This dude today can get a T-shirt, and that's fine. Like, enjoy it. Have fun. But, no, the guy yesterday, forget him.
Hey, Casey came up with an interesting topic. Why is Brevin Jordan not on more of these mocks? Why is he not? Is he sliding down? Is a guy like Tommy Tremble and those kind of players moving up? The Boston College kid? Like, where is Brevin Jordan in all this? I understand everybody's got Freiermuth, the connection to the Jags, all that stuff. But I thought we'd see more people interested in Brevin Jordan along the way, maybe even at pick 65 because he could be available. Are you not a believer in Brevin Jordan?
Do you want me to say it right now, or are we teasing that for the next segment? I think that's a good tease.
Okay, think about it. And you can answer that. And we'll also have a conversation with Trent Baalke. Football at 5 coming up. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 here on a Friday. We are live at Tire Outlet. Grand opening this weekend right here in Yulee.
Oh, pollen season is still hanging around. I'll take care of my allergies, but who's going to take care of keeping my truck clean? I've been going to Prime Car Wash, full service interior and exterior. And while you wait, spacious lounges, even child-friendly lounges, Starbucks coffee, iPads, Wi-Fi. Before you know it, your car or truck is cleaned. I went to the Beach Boulevard location, and there's one on San Jose as well. Give it a try. You can even get a membership. Let Prime Car Wash take care of your vehicle. Prime Car Wash. Clean inside. Clean outside.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the South Side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. Yeah, they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the South Side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish sass with 5-star class.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
It's Good Morning at Moe's in St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1. It's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. Made to order food in the drive-thru. Hot, fresh breakfast on the go. Make it a better morning with Moe's Southwest Grill. Start your days with the home wrecker breakfast burrito. St. Augustine location only, served daily at 6 a.m. Moe's is ready to serve you breakfast. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Your car in need of a cleaning? We've got you covered. We have all the wash and wax products you're looking for, from interior to exterior cleaners. They'll help you freshen up your ride inside and out, while keeping it protected from dirt and grime that can damage your car. And you can get everything you need even faster. Just order online at AutoZone.com and choose free same-day store pickup. Getting your job done just got easier. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Sir, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? Because I want to go to a concert with my friends in a full arena.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create vax904.com. Visit vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Here in the Sunshine State, we live in 2 time zones. We cheer for 3 NFL teams. We have over 3 million men over the age of 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. If you're having problems in the bedroom, you'll see results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. If pills like Viagra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain and no surgery. You'll see results right in the office, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Contact Prime Men's Medical Center to schedule a private consultation. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Memorabilia Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejewells.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Memorabilia Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
Is your car no longer stopping like it used to? Don't miss out on spring brake deals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will help you find the brake parts and supplies you need to do the job right the first time. You'll find great deals on brake pads and rotors, fluids, degreasers, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
To get offensive lineman Orlando Brown Jr. The Chiefs also get 2 picks in return. Ohio State coach Ryan Day says quarterback Justin Fields will thrive as a pro.
He's strong, he's accurate, he's powerful, he's really intelligent, he's competitive, he's got a strong arm, he's super accurate down the field.
Ryan Day on Greeny. The Browns pick up the 5th-year option on quarterback Baker Mayfield. That extends his deal through the 2022 season when he'll make almost $19 million. Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick in 2018. Last season, the Browns got their first playoff win in 26 years. No changes are likely over the next few years, but the College Football Playoff Management Committee did spend some time this week exploring expansion. The options ranged from 6 to 16 teams. There's still 5 seasons left on the original 12-year contract.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
So many teams have this go for broke mentality that if you don't fill that need in the first round, you haven't filled it. And roster construction in the NFL right now would tell you that is not the truth.
That was a quick one. Who was that?
I didn't have my headphones on.
Play that one again. Oh, okay. Oh, nah, man, we're oh, you didn't know.
Sorry, I didn't.
Matt Miller.
Oh, Matt Miller. Oh.
Didn't we ban him from the show?
I was going to say, he's still on the show? He's still welcome?
It's very few times I unfollow people. I just unfollow the guy that you retweeted because I saw him say something else that was stupid. So
wait,
I
what?
unfollowed him.
Huh?
You know the guy that you put the Gatorade tweet out about today?
Okay.
I was following him for some reason. I don't even know why that would have been, but then I saw him say something else dumb, and I was like, you know what am I looking at this stuff? Unfollow.
What did he
doesn't need to be on my timeline.
What did he say? And let's not say his name, but what did he say?
Yeah, I don't. Well, it was just a phrase. He brought up the whole Orlando Brown stuff, but it was the context that he put it in.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's there for me to talk about him. So let's stop.
Yeah.
Football at 5 here, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, 6 days away from the NFL Draft. Friday night, we got an hour to go before the end of the show. Make sure you check out Action Sports Jax on CBS 47 and Fox 30. We got prime time, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47 Saturday and Sunday on the TV side. We do have the draft, by the way, next week right here on ESPN 690. So the next 6-7 days is going to be so much fun. And all you need to do is keep it locked right here on the radio side, ESPN690, social media, to everybody on the Action Sports Jax team, and TV-wise, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Just had a nice gentleman for East Palatka. They call My Mom's Barbecue, and they have like a little food truck out here.
Oh, nice.
At the grand opening at Tire Outlet. And he brought some over. Didn't even ask, and he brought it over, and it is sensational. So appreciate that very much.
Right on.
My Mom's Barbecue, East Palatka. That's the first I've heard of that. So that's pretty cool.
And obviously, I'm immediately regretting not coming on the road with you and getting
you could have done.
Yeah,
you probably would have.
As I'm eating my salmon and rice right now. Yeah,
that's good for you.
Yeah,
real quick on tight ends before we get to my conversation with Trent Baalke.
Yeah,
I asked about Brevin Jordan.
Yeah.
It seems like others are passing him by. Casey brought this point up when we were
Great
getting
point.
ready for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know why that's happening, or is that just a little bit of a fall? Did we miss something?
No, it's actually a pretty legit question, and it's a good one. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I think the pro day went okay for him, right? So it's not like he faltered at the pro day in terms of the 40-yard dash. I'm looking at
certainly looked the part.
Yeah. If there's I think he ran a 4.64, which is, I'll be honest, that's fine. Okay, that's great. When you look at some of the weaknesses that scouts are saying about him on different websites I was researching, it kind of comes down to the same thing: tight hips, and his ability to sustain blocks. Let's establish something right now. If the Jaguars are taking a tight end, I don't care if they have a Brent Martineau-like ability to block people, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I have no idea. But
probably bad.
And that's the point. It doesn't matter. Because you're drafting a tight end to be the receiving threat. I know that we get infatuated with guys like T.J. Hawkinson of 2 years ago, where it's like, well, this guy can do it all. He's a dual threat guy. He's a throwback. He's like a Mercedes Lewis of blocking. Yeah, if you can have that type of guy, that's fantastic. But number one, they're rare. And number two, the way NFL offenses work these days, it's all about the receiving tight end. And when I watch Brevin Jordan, when I see the highlights, when I check the tape, when I watch the film, I see a guy, Brent, that lines up at the tight end spot, has success. I see a guy that lines up in the slot. I see a guy that lines up as like an X wide receiver and runs go routes. This guy is everywhere. To me, like, what Miami did with him reminds me of like what Hunter Henry, what they did with Hunter Henry in Los Angeles, and now he's on the New England Patriots. Like, he's versatile. That's what I look for in my tight end, a guy who's versatile. And at least the film that I've seen from Miami, he is that guy. So I think he's intriguing. I'll be honest, I like Pat Frymuth a little better than him, but I see no reason why, if the Jaguars took him, I wouldn't be excited about it.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story here is it seemed like it was Kyle Pitts, Pat Frymuth, Brevin Jordan. And now as this process has played along, I don't know if people are just trying to shove other names up there, but we've seen other names kind of pass by Brevin Jordan. Jordan's name doesn't seem to be popping as much, especially early on in this draft. So we'll see how the Jags feel about him, see if they can get their guy at tight end, or maybe he even falls to them in a spot if they do like him. We'll keep, obviously, all eyes on the tight end position for the Jacksonville Jaguars in this draft. Feels like they have to come away with something, especially early on in those first 4 or 5 picks. Well, this week we got a chance to catch up with Jaguars GM Trent Baalke. Obviously, first draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars with him in charge along with Urban Meyer. Let's listen in to the conversation with the new Jags GM. The hay can't be in the barn yet, but it's got to be pretty close, right? What's the buzz like in this building?
We're about 95% there. I was saying earlier, we still got some cleaning up to do. We got a lot of internal discussions to go through, but feel really good about where we're at with the process. And the next couple of days, we'll iron some things out. And by the time we get to Saturday or Sunday, we'll have a pretty clear understanding of what direction we're going to go.
What has this been like working with Coach Meyer through this process so far?
It's been excellent. Coach and I, when we entered into this, we entered into it as a partnership. He's expressed that. I've expressed that. The collaboration, the communication, I don't think could be any better. We're working hard with the staff, both scouting and coaching, to get this thing put together. It's been a lot of work. It's been a grind, as you know, trying to get a new staff in place and, in an effort to work together on these things. But I think it's been going excellent, and we'll execute that plan on draft day.
Do you get excited about the possibility of moving up and down and all around? I know it has to fall into place and things happen on usually on those days, but when you have 10 draft picks, does it welcome that opportunity a little bit more than maybe any other year?
Yeah, well, if you've followed my career at all, I mean, trading has been a big part of what we do on draft day, but I think every draft is different. Every board is different. How that board falls, off on draft day is different. So you got to have a very fluid plan. I think if you go in and you just say, I'm going to trade here and I'm going to trade, it's not how the draft day works. The drafts got to the drafts or the trades got to present themselves. When they present themselves, you do it. When they don't, you don't.
How good is the quarterback class overall as you've vetted it?
I think
we don't know. We assume a couple more years, maybe assume at the most. Look at this.
And there's very good players in the draft at a lot of positions. I think it's maybe top heavy at some positions, maybe bottom heavy in others. But there's good players, and our job, as a staff, coaching and personnel, is to find those 10 guys that are going to help us win.
It seems kind of obvious that if you have the number one pick, you certainly can get a little ahead of the game on who you want to take with that pick. But from just the elementary level, how many more things have you been able to do in the process because you have that number one pick and might know who you want to take?
Well, I think you do your due diligence on every pick. I think we feel very good about where we're at heading into the draft with number one. And feel very good about the next 3 or 4 where we think we can go and where we think the players will be. After that, it gets a little murkier. But again, everything's fluid, and on draft day, that plan that we have in our mind right now may get blown up. And if it does, you have to have plan B, and usually you have to have plan C and even D. So working hard with the staff right now, the coaching staff. Again, the communication, the dialogue. The passion with which they've attacked their role in this has been nothing short of remarkable. So really looking forward to just executing it once we get to that day.
Have you enjoyed the Zoom part of this with a guy like Trevor or any other the possible prospects?
Well, you don't know me very well, but I'm not a Zoom guy. I'm not a camera guy. I'm not an interview guy. There's a lot of things I'm not when it comes to this, but no, we've been, the coaches have done, a tremendous job. So have the personnel guys. Zooming these guys, you're allowed 5 Zoom calls per guy. And I think we're pretty much tapped out on a lot of guys. We've used all of our resources
not just
throwing
together
and tried to get in contact with these guys as much as we can. Because that's the only way we can get to know them.
What do you utilize in that Zoom call with like the quarterbacks? I mean, can you put them on a whiteboard, so to speak? Can you have them diagram, talk through a play? I mean, how in depth can you get?
Well, the coaches all have their own little way of doing it. Some get them on the grease board, some just talk ball. But there's a lot of different methods they use. But I would think the main one is putting on a play, drawing it up, having them talk you through it, putting on some film, some cut-up film for them to look at and be able to converse back and forth about. So. Each coach kind of has his unique way of doing it.
We've heard over the last few months playbooks to certain drills teams have asked quarterbacks or players to do. Are those common things, or is this a unique draft cycle in that respect? We even have second pro days now. I don't think we've seen a lot over the years.
Yeah, there's been second pro days in the past, but not to the level there probably has been this year. It's been a different year. Your ability to get in front of these guys and really get to know them has been limited to the audio visual stuff. Very little personal contact. We've had minimal. As you go to these pro days and you bump into some guys, but that's been the rules have prevented a lot of that. Years past, you used to be able to go to a pro day, go out the night before, take guys to eat. Or after the pro day, take them out for a meal, get to know them a little bit. That's all been off limits this year. So we're just doing everything we can to get to know these guys the best we can, because in the matter of a couple weeks here, we're going to have 10 new guys on this team that we pick on through this process.
How exciting is it for you to have 25, 33, and 45? I know we've been talking about number one around here for a while, but I mean, that's a bunch of picks in a small period of time.
Well, all the way through 65. You got 5 picks in the top 65 of the draft. That means you should be getting 5 of the top 65 players in the country. And if you do that, if we've done our work and know these guys the way we believe we know them, and we bring them in here, we feel like those are 5 starters.
12 picks last year, dozen free agents. You obviously have a core of guys that already exist, the Josh Allens of the world, guys you brought back. You have 10 picks this year. I mean, how many spots do you have that are upgradable? I mean, that's a lot of movement on your roster already over the last year or so.
Yeah, we're in really good shape. I mean, you can carry a 90-man roster. Right now, we're currently at 79. That means if we draft 10, we've got room for 1 college free agent. So we're going to take a look at things as a coaching staff and a personnel staff over the next week and really make some decisions on where we want to go with those numbers.
With any of these guys, you know so much about the tape. You've been doing this for a while on these guys. Do you learn a lot about them or something about them like, man, I didn't know that? I mean, even as your 4th Zoom meeting, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I thought I knew everything, but here's something new.
Yeah, Coach and I were talking about that this morning. It's amazing that you can watch all this film. We've had 360 some days or 350 now some days to watch these guys. And every time we go in the room and put as you narrow the pool down and you start to watch these guys more in depth, you see something different. And that's why it takes a lot of work. But sometimes it's paralysis by analysis too. There's a reason that the blink methodology works. Your first impression is usually your strongest impression. So you don't want to get in a situation where you're talking yourself out of guys. You keep watching the tape. You keep trying to I always try to say, do the stars align when you're watching tape? What you're looking for that player, does it align? And then does the character align with that? And does the mental align with that? You're trying to get it as clean as possible. And when it's not clean, you got to have, it takes more discussions to get comfortable with the player.
Lastly, when you're in that room on draft day, you've been in it a bunch, how much of a balance is the plan that you went in with versus, oh, wait a minute, that guy's fallen further than we thought. Let's not be emotional about it, but we might want to take a closer look at that, and we weren't really planning as much that he might be available.
I think that's a good question. I think you've got to be true to your board, and you can say, well, that guy's not going to be there in the 3rd round, and you can think that way. But what if he is there, and the guy that you were thinking that you wanted to take in the 3rd round is still there, but obviously not at the same value on your board? Again, it comes back to the value of the pick. And you're going to, we're a team that's going to take the value over the need, when it's that much of a difference.
Does it happen a lot?
It does. Everyone sets their board a little differently. We have a method that we use to value players, and certain things we do on the board to depict some concerns relative to certain picks. At some point in the draft, one of those is going to be staring. It's called a dilemma. It's going to be staring you in the face. You're going to look up at the board, and there's going to be a guy that you've got graded fairly high versus a guy that's you've targeted also that's down below it, and you're looking, and now you got the dilemma. Do you finally make that pick or don't you?
The hay can't be in the barn yet, but it's got to be pretty close, right? What's the buzz like in this building?
General Manager Trent Baalke, in that last scenario, I wonder if that's when you go with need over value, or do you always stick with value? Jags fans, you can win a chance to meet the pick, courtesy of TIAA Bank. Just visit TIAABank.com/meetthepick to register each day through draft night. You have 6 more days to do it. No purchase required to enter or win. For eligibility and other details, see the official rules at TIAABank.com/meetthepick. What a day we have up here at Yulee. We're at Tire Outlet. And right now, let's welcome in Florida Sportsman Fishing Report with Rick Riles. I'm going to ask you something without giving away your fishing spots, because I know that's a no-no when it comes to you fine fishermen. But I am up here in Yulee, so the Fernandina Beach area, maybe versus the Jacksonville Beach area, or further down south to Matanzas. Do you fish them all? Do you have a preference? Are they different from one another?
They're all different from one another. And I got to tell you, this time of year, for drum and sheepshead, I really love that Fernandina Inlet. It's awfully, awfully good, and it doesn't get the pressure that the Mayport Inlet does. But it's a dangerous inlet, Brent, that actually claims 2 or 3 boats a year because your jetties go out a long ways, but then they dip underwater and they come back up another few hundred yards down sea and or offshore rather, and several beautiful boats. I mean, $1 million boats have thought the end of the jetty was the end of the jetty, and it really wasn't, and they ended up on the rock pile. So Bernardine is a little more dangerous. It's got a lot of fish this time of year. Hey, Brent, who would you take with our second pick?
We've been floating around Christian Barmore to Kadarius Toney to Trevon Merrick. I think from a need standpoint, I'm probably going to land closer to Barmore than I am Merrick, quite frankly. That's the defensive lineman out of Alabama.
Okay. All right. What would you give up to get Kyle Pitts?
I'd probably give up a decent amount to move up, but I don't think I would give up the amount that it would take to get to like 4, 5, or 6 where he's going to go.
Okay, I'm just so scared with that body he could be the next Gronk. But let's talk fishing a little bit. David Voorhees was in the Intercoastal Waterway today. Several nice reds and several nice flounder. I was right around the Mill Cove area and saw a big school of bluefish feeding on top of the water today. That's going on. There's plenty going on inshore, and that's a good thing because the ocean's going to be closed. I'm sure you can feel the breeze up there in Yulee, and I tell you, it stretches offshore, and it has created a nasty ocean. I think Monday's going to be the first day. Tomorrow's going to be the worst of the wind, but then it's not going to lay down the ocean until probably Monday. But you can count on one thing. We're going to be talking about it tomorrow morning from 7 to 9, and then we're going to be talking about it again on Monday with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing.
Rick Rouse, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. We'll be listening in the morning right here on ESPN 690.
Thank you, Brent.
You bet. That is Rick Rouse. Make sure you check out the show tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. ESPN 690. Love having Rick on each and every day at 5:15 on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hey, Austin. Brings up kind of a good point, right?
What do you got?
I haven't really thought about it in this context. What would you give up for Kyle Pitts?
Me personally?
Yeah, like
my left pinky finger.
That's it?
I mean, that's it.
I mean, come on, man. The guy, he left a finger in in a cage fighting a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
you're just willing to give up a pinky?
Back. He got it back at least.
Well, he didn't get Kyle Pitts.
Are you asking? That's a good point. Yeah, but at least he was trending on Twitter for a little bit. Everybody wants that.
Well, here's what I listen. I understand we don't have a value chart, right? But if all of a sudden the Jags took like would you say it's outrageous if they just said, "Hey, we're taking our 25, 33, 45, and boom, moving up to get Kyle Pitts"? Would it be like, whoa?
It's aggressive, man. But it's outside the box thinking. You know how I feel about that. I wouldn't be mad at it, even though you got to rebuild this whole roster. But, man, you might as well do it with a key piece and an intriguing piece like Kyle Pitts.
My point on the Kyle Pitts front is I don't think it's even worth considering if he were to drop outside of the top 10, because I think you just have to give up so much that you'd really scratch your head over, is it really worth it? Is it really, really worth it? Yeah. I know it would appease the fans, and I know it would be kind of cool, but is it really worth it? I think he has to get outside the top 10 to even consider making it worth it.
I hear you.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Hey, Brent, let me ask you this, though. If you had the guarantee that you had the next Travis Kelce, the next George Kittle, what would you trade for that?
Yeah, probably those 3 picks.
There you go. I'm not saying it's going to be that, but I'm just saying, you go.
I don't hate moving up and trading a lot. You just got to be careful there. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're live at Tire Outlet in Yulee. We'll be right back. Big weekend ahead, especially downtown at the arena. We talk about it coming up next on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Fair to partly cloudy tonight, dropping only to near 60 degrees, so quite mild. It'll be partly sunny, breezy, and warm tomorrow. Your Saturday high around 85. A widely scattered late-day shower or thunderstorm. Better chance and a higher risk for rain and gusty storms overnight tomorrow night. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss the buy one, get one free on wedding bands through this Sunday.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer?
Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
They just don't make them like they used to.
People say that a lot, and sometimes it's true, but not for air conditioners. Manufacturers actually make them better than they used to. It's just that local AC companies don't install them like they ought to. Old school rules of thumb and yesterday's shortcuts simply sabotage new school systems. Can new technology give you more comfort with longer service life? Only if the AC tech knows how to properly engineer it for your home and how to install it right. So techs that don't understand inverters, low voltage controls, and how to configure the software, dip switches, and refrigerant charge for Florida humidity, they'll totally turn it into turd buckets, especially if they just do a swap the box install without fixing your ductwork and airflow. My point, the better the technology, the more important the install. At Griffith Service, we fix what others can't, but it's best to have us install it right from the beginning. So if your new system ain't working right or your old one needs replacing, call
griffinservice.com.
1250-697.
Boss! Crooks R Us just put out a special bulletin about Safe Touch security.
Special bulletin about Safe Touch? Oh, this is gonna fire up my ulcer, I know it.
Boss, the headline says, Safe Touch Security has announced their new advanced video surveillance system.
Oh, here it comes.
Oof, this is huge. It's a multi-camera interior and exterior professional surveillance system with 24/7 video storage.
Great. Just what we need is Safe Touch up in their game again.
Boss, this is next level. I think Fort Knox would be jealous of this thing.
Deep breaths. They can keep their fancy camera system. It doesn't change the Crooks R Us golden rule one bit. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Nope, doesn't change it, but it sure underlines it.
Just get me a glass of milk, will you?
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Hey, April is Financial Literacy Month. At some point, you've said to yourself, man, if only I had known. We all make money mistakes, but the worst mistake is not educating our kids and teens about how money, credit, and debt work. So make a point to really talk with your kids about money. If you need help, visit any one-to-one financial credit union branch or our website at 121fcu.org. They're never too young to start investing and never too old to stop learning. Thanks. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
You've been wanting a new ride, right? But you can't find what you're looking for? Well, check out my friends over at Arlington Toyota. They have over 400 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs to choose from. Worried about your credit? Well, don't be, because with Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's getting almost everyone approved. And when it comes to total peace of mind, Arlington's got you covered with their 30-day exchange policy. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Austin Lane.
And Tony Khan clap back. There you go, Kuz. There's your clap back for you.
Clapped.
So,
It's a
clapped.
gamer thing.
Eric Clapton. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good gamer name.
I'm using that tonight.
Gamer name.
Check your boy, I'm Eric Clapton.
Oh, that's so good.
Brent Martineau.
Yeah. You guys just had a moment.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
No, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and obviously Florida has been big in leading the charge and opening not only, getting businesses back up and running and tourism, but also sports. So we came here last year when the pandemic started. We proved that we could put on an event safely.
That is Dana White, UFC president, on with us here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 yesterday. Of course, UFC 261 coming up tomorrow here in Jacksonville. By the way, been a pretty nice week of interviews here on ESPN 690. We played Dabo Swinney, just played Trent Baalke, had Dana White on with us yesterday, and also had Sal Palantonio from ESPN earlier this week. You can always go listen to it back on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. Subscribe away. Jags fans, you can win a chance to meet the pick courtesy of TIAA Bank. Just visit TIAABank.com/meetthepick to register each day through draft night. No purchase required to enter or win. For eligibility and other details, see the official rules at TIAABank.com/meetthepick. You get a chance to maybe meet Trevor Lawrence. How cool is that? Just TIAABank.com/meetthepick. UFC 261 coming up tomorrow. You've told me all about the card. You've got me actually fired up about the card.
Nice.
How do you see it playing out? Because minus 1,000, you're the best guy in radio in town to be able to break down the fight.
Yeah, let's get it, man. So, obviously, I can break this card down top to bottom if I really had to because it's that stacked. It's going to be that exciting. But let's focus on the 3 championship fights. Those are the money makers. That's what sets this card apart from a lot of cards on pay-per-view. It's the fact you have 3 title fights, 3 championship fights. The first one, Valentina Shevchenko, Jessica Andrade. Valentina Shevchenko, I talked about it yesterday a little bit, Dana White. To me, for my money, she is the most complete martial artist, male or female. She does everything very well. Started out as a Muay Thai fighter, transitioned to do some jiu-jitsu. She's got grappling. She's got boxing. She's got everything. And she throws spinning back kicks like nobody's business. A very fun fighter to watch. At 125 pounds, dominant. The only girl that's beat her lately is Amanda Nunes, and that's when she actually moved up a weight class to fight Amanda Nunes. And we know who Amanda Nunes is. She's pretty good in her own right. But at 125, Valentina Shevchenko is the queen of the UFC. Taking on Jessica Andrade, who actually found a new weight class at 125 and seems to have found a home here. The thing about Jessica Andrade is she's kind of built like the Mike Tyson of the women's flyweight division. She's short, she's stocky, and she's extremely powerful. Fun fact, and I've talked about it before a little bit on this show, she's the only girl where I've watched fight where I literally thought she killed another girl in the cage. Because what happened was she fought this girl by the name of Rose Namajunas, who I'll break down in a second, spiked her on top of her neck, knocked her out from that spike, and ended up winning the belt at 115. And now she moves up, obviously, to the higher weight class. Very strong, very powerful. What it's going to be the patience of Valentina Shevchenko versus, I guess, the berserker-like nature of Jessica Andrade. I like Valentina Shevchenko here. I think she retains the championship. I think she's too far skilled. Her spinning back kicks, her teeps, which is basically like a front kick, they keep people at range. Andras, being the shorter fighter, has to close the distance, and I think Valentina is just too good to let Jessica Andras do that. And if it goes to the ground, Jessica Andras being from Brazil, she has some jiu-jitsu, but Valentina Shevchenko can match that, no problem about it. Next card we're going to break, or the next card we're going to break down, Zhang Weili versus Rose Namajunas. Now, I should preface by saying this. There's 3 championship fights. Usually the general principle, if there's at least 2 championship fights on a card and you're betting or you're just a fan, usually the title's going to change hands with one of these fights. When we have 3 championship fights, the odds are even better that somebody's going to be, the underdog and win a championship and upset the champion. This is the fight that I'm taking where the underdog is going to win and become the new champion at the strawweight division. Zhang Weili taking on Rose Namajunas. Zhang Weili, once again, does everything very well. Kind of on the shorter, stockier side, a great grappler, fights with cardio, fights with pace, and has power in her hands. Had the fight of the year last year against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This girl is peaking at the right time. She's really coming into her own, it seems like, her past couple fights, and she gets better and better and better. She's the minus 200 favorite taking on Rose Namajunas. Now, Rose Namajunas is a fighter who, when the lights are the brightest, when the stage is the biggest, she comes out. And obviously, this is a big card. It's a big event. I think we see the best version of Rose Namajunas here. She grew up in Wisconsin, trains in Colorado. Once again, does everything very well. Good on the ground, has great striking, and has great movement as well. And to me, this is what sets apart Rose Namajunas from Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is going to come at you a little more kind of plod, a little slower. Rose Namajunas can go switch stance. She can go orthodox. It doesn't matter. She's going to mix it up a little bit. And I think that's going to get the job done. I think it's going to be a unanimous decision for Rose Namajunas. I think she's going to outstrike Zhang Weili, and you're going to have a new champion at the strawweight division, and the underdog is going to win that one. And then for the main event, you've seen Brett Martin in the background a lot for this promotional video. Kamaru Usman taking on Jorge Masvidal. We've seen the first fight. Keep in mind, though, the first fight was Jorge Masvidal on 6 days' notice. Now, I don't care how much you're in the gym, how much you're training. If you have a fight on 6 days' notice, you're not going to get the best version of that guy, all right? So props to Jorge Masvidal for stepping up on short notice and taking the fight, but obviously it didn't go his way. Kamaru Usman beat him the first time, and now the excuse from Jorge Masvidal is, I wasn't in shape. If you give me a full fight camp, I can knock him out. To me, the only way Jorge Masvidal is going to win this fight is if he indeed does knock out Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman has way too much grappling. He's got way too much cardio to get beat via decision. So if Jorge wants to win this fight, he's got to knock Kamaru out. If Kamaru Usman showed us anything, his last fight against Gilbert Burns is that his striking has got monumentally better. And he's actually probably one of the most all-around champions right now. In any men's division, you name it, he's got him beat. So I like Kamaru Usman here. Jorge Masvidal is a plus 310. Kamaru Usman's is minus 400 going back. I just think the pace, the grappling, the pressure that Kamaru Usman can provide, and now obviously the intrigue on his striking has gotten a lot better. I just think that it's way too much for Jorge Masvidal. I think Kamaru Usman retains the belt as well. So give me Kamaru Usman, give me the upset with Rose Namajunas, and then give me Valentina Shevchenko retaining her title as well.
Well, there it is, the breakdown of UFC 261 coming up tomorrow night. Is there any chance that they think I'm actually fighting in the cage because I've been in that promo so much?
I mean, I'm surprised they haven't asked you at least to come cage side and have your cell phone up again.
At least in the background again.
Yeah, at least mimic it or something. I mean, let's be honest. We see this all the time in sports where, people get recognized for a crazy sign or, I remember like the whole Austin 316 thing, like the John 316. Yeah. Like, that was your moment. That was your John 316 moment in the crowd. You had, at the Super Bowl, Radio Row, Brett Martin with his cell phone looking concerned. Well, kind of looking like, what are these guys doing right now more than anything? But that was your moment.
Hey, how many eyes are on Jacksonville if they pull this off in a full crowd, sold-out crowd, 15,000, everything goes well over the next couple of weeks, there's no backstories. What is this going to trigger the opening of sports venues across the country?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a step in the right direction. You know, once again, UFC kind of does their own thing, right? Dana White even said it himself. He hasn't talked to anybody from other different pro leagues. Like, they're just kind of doing their own path. I think they're doing it safely, but, you know, it's kind of that's their MO. We do it our way and screw what you think. And you know what? That business model from Dana White has worked since day one. Even when he first got on the scene and boxing fans wanted to, you know, talk smack about the UFC and say it was a blood sport and all this stuff and it would never make it because boxing's king. Well, look at the UFC now. And the reason why the UFC got to where it's at is because guys like Dana White, who don't really care what other people have to say. I think the sports world will be watching this. I think if this goes off without a hitch, and once again, I don't know what that even means, Brent, to tell you the truth, but if there's not really big issues, I think it is progress in the sporting world. And most importantly, I think it's eyes on Jacksonville, like you said. You know, they had Lenny Curry at the press conference yesterday. They had Ron DeSantis at the press conference yesterday. They kind of spoke their piece a little bit, and they kind of played their part a little bit. And it's something for the future, you know, and this thing sold out quickly, right? I mean, there's going to be people from all around the country in the city of Jacksonville. I think the main goal we got to ask ourselves now, if this goes off smoothly, is if Jacksonville can be a UFC hub for the future. And if they can keep on hosting events, and if they can keep on attracting fan bases of MMA. Because, you know, ideally what you want one time is to have this global event where it's hosted in Jacksonville. You have people coming from all around the country that are, you know, their fighters being represented to come to Jacksonville and watch that. And that could very well happen one day.
I think we talked about that a bit last year when this whole thing was happening as well. Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi, places like that, right, are already hubs, if you will, where there are fights and fights will go back to. Jacksonville could become one of those destinations. Not the only destination, but one of those destinations in the conversation for big-time events. I think that's a really good point. I do think if they can pull this off, I think it will at least – I mean, heck, right across the street, TIAA Bank, the Jaguars, the NFL, they want to open things up for the fall. They anticipate full crowds. That's what they've said. But they have to see other things go off. And be successful before they feel good about it is my guess. Listen, the Rangers had a big crowd. I mean, there's some college baseball crowds going on. USC is not like the first and only now to have more than social distancing, masks, limited capacity. But it's a high-profile event right here in Jacksonville that I have to believe other sports entities and leaders are looking at this thing on Saturday and see how it plays out, not just Saturday night, but over the next few weeks.
And especially to me, the NBA, right? Because we're talking about a closed event indoors featuring full capacity, depending
similar
how this goes.
Crowd.
A similar size crowd. And, you know, with the playoffs a few months away, it really begs the question, will the NBA kind of follow note here and have more of a capacity when the playoffs start?
That's a really good call. Hey, don't forget to vote for our Action Sports Jacks on ESPN690 Athlete of the Week. Go to ESPN690.com. We have a few new nominees. Pole vaulter Sam Martin's last week winner of our Athlete of the Week. Congratulations to him on all his success and the other nominees as well. I'd like to recognize all the student athletes here in Northeast Florida. We're live at Tire Outlet in Yulee. We'll be back to wrap up a week heading into draft week on ESPN690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Not everybody in the NFL is excited about the new number rule. Tom Brady thinks it's not just silly, it's dangerous, especially when trying to recognize blitzes. Brady Coleman, however, is a ESPN radio host, and he thinks Brady needs to stop crying.
But let's be honest, as great as he's been, how many times when things have not gone his way, he has acted like a petulant child. And not for nothing, he's too much of a name to be in that crybaby box. Leave that for quarterbacks who don't even have 199th, what you've been able to do. When you're Tom Brady, you just sound like a sad old man. And because someone didn't change the TV right or didn't give you the remote control so you can have that kind of control.
And Jacksonville plays host to its first full-capacity event tomorrow night. It's UFC 261, featuring 3 title fights. and that event is completely sold out. The SportsCenter update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
J.J. Watt, interesting choice. Imagine the conversation we're having today if he signed in Green Bay. Instead, he goes to Arizona, signs to play in the best division in football. Are they the fourth best team in that division? Could be. He went to the place that had the salary cap space to afford him. And again, that's not a criticism. It's just a simple statement of fact.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN+.
It's Good Morning at Moe's in St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1. It's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. Made to order food in the drive-thru. Hot, fresh breakfast on the go. Make it a better morning with Moe's Southwest Grill. Start your days with the home wrecker breakfast burrito. St. Augustine location only, served daily at 6 a.m. Moe's is ready to serve you breakfast. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Hi, I'm here reporting from one of the vaccine locations, and we're asking people today why they decided to get vaccinated. Ma'am, why are you getting the vaccine?
Why am I getting the vaccine? So that I can go back to church.
The COVID vaccine is a safe and proven way to get our lives back to normal. This is why the Florida Division of Emergency Management partnered with local community leaders to create Vax904.com. Visit Vax904.com or call 357-0892 to get more information.
Oh, pollen season is still hanging around. I'll take care of my allergies, but who's going to take care of keeping my truck clean? I've been going to Prime Car Wash, full service interior and exterior. And while you wait, spacious lounges, even child-friendly lounges, Starbucks coffee, iPads, Wi-Fi. Before you know it, your car or truck is cleaned. I went to the Beach Boulevard location, and there's one on San Jose as well. Give it a try. You can even get a membership. Let Prime Car Wash take care of your vehicle. Prime Car Wash. Clean inside, clean outside.
For families worried about making ends meet, we are here. For those struggling with depression, we are here. We're also here to protect kids in crisis, assist students, and help our seniors. We're Jewish Family and Community Services, and we've been here offering support to people of every age, race, and religion for more than a century. Jewish Family and Community Services, here for all. Here for Jags. Learn more at hereforjags.com.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jules in St. Augustine at Memorabilia Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jules app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejules.com and visit Willie Jules at Memorabilia Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jules. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss says you're working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
We are in Derrick Henry's hometown, Yulee, Florida. Tire Outlet, grand opening. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, right up here in Yulee. So if you're heading up this way on the weekend, check out Tire Outlet. I just learned they have a dozen locations in the area and opening up more. So stay tuned. More to come from Tire Outlet. More on Derrick Henry in just a moment. But first, one more reminder for you folks here on this Friday. Jags fans, you can win a chance to meet the pick courtesy of TIAA Bank. Just visit TIAABank.com/meet the pick to register each day through draft night. 6 more days to go. No purchase required to enter or win. For eligibility and other details, see the official rules at TIAABank.com/meet the pick. Brent Martineau up here in Yulee at Tire Outlet. Austin Lane back in the Action Sports Jack studios. Casey finishing up a strong week, filling in for the newly married man, Coos. Nice job, Casey, in case I run out of time and forget to tell you. It's been fun having you along. Appreciate all the work this week, and you pushed all the right buttons, I think. It never had to push the off-the-rails button outside of the Shock Your Mock segment.
Facts, big time facts, man. Nicely done.
So I just put this out there. This I think was the top. I don't know. You brought it up yesterday. We didn't get to it.
What else is new?
I know. But I saved these things.
Jokes,
see?
Brent. Just jokes. Jokes.
Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry.
We did break this down yesterday.
At the end. Okay, well,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
You end up talking about it.
Yes.
So the workout videos and everything else.
Yes.
Did you go as far as saying who would you take?
Yes, sir.
Out of anybody in the NFL on the Jags, and who was it?
Wait,
I'm not saying just Kamara or Henry.
Okay.
I'm saying if you could take a back in the NFL on this football team.
Oh, man. See, well, now Snipe put me in a rough spot because I picked Derrick Henry pretty much over everybody yesterday, even though he's
but
not.
You don't need to here in
That's what
Jacksonville,
I'm saying, man. Yeah. So then I would probably, if I know that I have James Robinson, then I would take Alvin Kamara. Because in terms of a third down back, well, and let's be honest, he's not even a third down back because Kamara would at least be splitting reps, probably being the starting running back. I would say Alvin Kamara.
Well, because there's listen, I just opened it up to anybody, and so I mean, Christian McCaffrey, does he come into play for you?
Yeah, it's just the injuries though a little bit.
Yeah, and that's probably the problem you have with Saquon Barkley right now, right?
Correct.
I mean, Saquon Barkley is an interesting dilemma for the Giants. It's the running back position number 1. And that's a dangerous spot to have your investment in, or a lot of investment in.
Yeah.
As we know. He's also been hurt, but holy cow, you don't want to see that guy walk, from your team, that is.
Yeah.
And he is just a sensational-looking athlete, and when he is healthy, he seems like he can just own the league. So I think style of play comes in here, and – listen, let's not be naive. I mean, James Robinson was unbelievable last year, but Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. I mean, we're talking about guys that have proven a heck of a lot more than James Robinson and had a longer time to do it. It's just the running back. Listen, you asked this question 2 years ago, man. Ezekiel Elliott would have been on the list. He's not even near the list anymore.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I think from sustainability, let's be honest, Alvin Kamara's, he's been injured a little bit as well. I think was it 2 years ago? He didn't have his best season just because I think he actually got hurt in Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. That was 2 years ago.
He's played through some injuries. He has not been 100%. Remember last year there was that trade rumor before he signed the deal that, or rumor that he could be traded. And this was, of course, before the Jags knew they had James Robinson and all that played out. But Alvin Kamara to Jacksonville was like, oh, well, they got a ton of picks.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money. That is interesting. That'll make the team a lot better. No, it's a dangerous thing to invest in running backs, but there are a lot of different style of guys in the NFL right now that intrigue you.
Yeah, I think I'm either taking Alvin Kamara or Dalvin Cook. I think in terms of receptions, because Dalvin Cook can do it all, right? But if I have James Robinson, I need thunder and lightning. I need lightning to be the guy that can get, 70 to 80 receptions per year out of the backfield, and Alvin Kamara can do that. So go ahead and give me Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Is that who you would take too, or you could say Aaron Jones. You could say
I would not take. I think we've seen the best of Aaron Jones. I think this is a dangerous move for the Packers.
Okay.
Sorry to everybody at the pickle, but I do think that's potential. You just said Dalvin Cook, and I really like Dalvin Cook, and I've liked him ever since he was at Florida State. Now it comes with some injury stuff as well. It seems to have happened, but he's so productive.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like I wonder about Derek, how much longer he can be this productive.
Brett,
I mean,
you gotta stop doubting this guy because we have this conversation every
look,
single year.
I know, but I'm not a doubter of Derek. I've been a big believer in Derek, but I still think it's just the nature of the position. First of all, he can't continue to duplicate this kind of effort. We're not talking 2,000-yard seasons, but can he continue to be productive for another 3 years? I don't know. I don't know whether it's somebody the league figures him out, or he gets worn down a little bit. I mean, he's so physically imposing, maybe that it just won't happen. But unfortunately, he plays for the Titans. Outside of that, I'm a huge Derrick Henry fan.
Yeah.
But you really have to commit to a style, like you probably said yesterday, if you're going to have Derrick Henry. And that's what the Titans have done, and that's why they've been able to build all around him and work all around him in their offense. And by the way, with Arthur Smith gone, will they be able to do that still is something to watch.
No, for sure. And the thing about Derrick Henry, though, as well, is the later it gets in the season, the more he seems to pick it up, right? And then when it's playoff time, now I get it. The Ravens game, he didn't have his best game of his career, but usually when it's playoff season, postseason time, the temperatures drop a little bit. That's when Derrick Henry gets going, and you like that, right? That's what you want. When we talk about, when do you want your backs to peak at the right time? Well, Derrick Henry peaks at the exact right time. But once again, I have to go with Alvin Kamara just from the reception capability.
I'll tell you, I just always think about this. I'm here in Yulee, Florida. This is part of Jacksonville area, and the best running back arguably in the league is from right here.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
It's nuts.
Crazy and wild. Hey, I wanted to ask you this. I tweeted this out the other day, and I just mentioned his name, Sam Martin's Bartram Trail. Won our Action Sports Jacks on ESPN690 Honda the Avenue's Athlete of the Week poll this past week. So congratulations to him. But I saw a video of him, and he was pole vaulting. First of all, the pole vault looks fun already, right? But I just don't want to do it. But
No,
I
don't
said
wanna
this,
either.
go watch a pole vault. Slow-mo anything you want to slow-mo. But slow-mo pole vault, and that's the best thing you can slow-mo.
It's insane. They should do like a sports science on it.
Yeah, that'd be good, actually.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been done.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of sports science. I've never seen the sports science pole vaulting edition. But it's insane.
Scientifically, pole vaulting seems like it shouldn't work.
Yeah. Or it seems like the stick should snap, which it does sometimes. It's dangerous, man.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
I'm not lying. That's why I don't.
It looks really fun, but I don't want to try it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a roller coaster.
For sure. I'll stick to the high jump. Thank you very much.
Hey, grand opening continues right here at Tire Outlet. Huge raffle prizes all weekend long, so come out and check them out right up here in Yulee. Big truck tires. You must come check out Tire Outlet's 4x4 Paradise as well. Tire Outlet's Yulee location offering grand opening out-the-door specials all weekend long. Casey, heck of a job. Enjoy the UFC 261 and the weekend Austin Lane.
Will do.
And when we come back on Monday, it is Draft Week 2021 in Jacksonville. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you on TV. Thanks for listening on ESPN 690.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida